Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm joined today by Epic Mike couldn't join me, so we have Samoan Mike
Yep.
with his ponytail. How you doing? How are things in Samoa?
Good. Very, very ethnically ambiguous all the time.
That's how we like to keep it on this show.
Yeah,
We're both
we can
just
kind of.
race benders.
Yeah, we can kind of. I can just pass as anything now. Like The Rock.
Yeah.
What is he? Yeah.
I mean, I think he's Samoan. Maybe Samoans are like the ultimate shapeshifters. They're not actually a race. They're just like a mutant breed of people that can look like anything and just take other people's roles.
Yeah.
I say,
Well, I mean,
being
he's like
ambiguous.
Yeah, he's half Samoan, half black. I think. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, his dad is black. Like,
Let me see.
go look up Rocky.
Is this like a thing last week where you're trying to trick me into thinking?
No,
that
100%. Go look up The Rock's dad. He's full on like black dude.
Oh my god!
Yeah, there's no.
How did I not know this? This whole time I was like, man, Samoans look pretty black.
Nope, it's just The Rock.
Just The Rock, because he's probably blacker than I am.
Yeah,
I'm only a
probably.
third.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's half. So. What's crazy too about The Rock is how many cousins he has that used to like wrestle and stuff. Just about any Samoan that ever wrestled in like the WWE was his cousin. And it was like, wow, like Jimmy Snuka, who was like a really big wrestler back in the day, like all these wrestlers, and they all range like different body types. So there'd be like these really, really, really massive heavyset Samoans, and they're like, yeah, I'm The Rock's cousin. And then it would be like, yeah, it was actually pretty funny. I'm like, dude, all you guys just like somehow all have like this interconnected family. I don't know. It's weird.
Are you saying they all look the same, Mike?
No, they don't all look the same.
Are we up to racism this early in the morning? I thought that was at least like a noon and after thing.
No, listen. I don't want to hear from you. I can't be racist if I look like this.
That's fair. I mean, I am the one with 2 hate speech strikes. Well, I don't have a strike. Okay, so I have on YouTube. I have a warning.
Yep.
It's a permanent warning. They said
Yes.
for hate speech, and then on TikTok, one of my sketches got banned for community violations for hate speech.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, that was the one with the clan guy. So it wasn't like TikTok being super, I don't know, super woke. It was like, no, I was pushing it.
That would be kind of funny. You're like, TikTok's so woke right now. They won't even let you wear a clan hood on there.
Yeah, they won't even let you do live stream your cross burnings. What the fuck's up with this? Fuck censorship.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah.
Also, my modified veil is driving me nuts because there's like spots on it, but now it just looks like I have a big old mole right here.
Yeah, she has a cancerous mole on the side of her face.
Yeah, that's actually like it's either caused by the veil or I actually like was wearing the veil because I was trying to hide the cancer, but now I've just accepted that this is terminal. Sorry, guys. The podcast is probably going to end soon.
The real person dying was inside of us all along. Yeah.
I don't know why that's funny to me. The decaying corpse was inside our hearts the entire time.
Yeah. She's like, oh, poor White Mike, and she's like the one with cancer. Yeah.
Maybe White Mike was just like a metaphor for like me losing myself. Like,
yeah,
I don't really know what that means, but it sounded very profound.
Yep.
Max says a spot looks like a microphone pop princess. Okay, so we can do that. We can just pretend this is like a Madonna thing where I'm just like,
it's a cancerous tumor.
I'm a cancerous pop princess.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I'll be dying in like 2 weeks. Let's dance.
Yeah, I'll be dying in a city near you.
Yeah.
Brianna says the real cancer was the friends we made along the way.
Oh shit.
Are you saying White Mike dying gave you cancer? So apparently you can die of a broken heart.
Yeah.
It's a real
I learned that recently. That was kind of crazy. You're like, what is it? Like your heart like strings like break.
Oh, that sounds so poetic. Like that feels like like an emo lyric or something like that. Like playing on my heartstrings till they break, till they snap in a million pieces. I'm not a songwriter, obviously.
I mean, you're pretty close. I mean, that was basically all the songs. And
I would need to do it more like I would need to do it more chewy. Like, you broke my heartstrings. No, you
Yeah,
need like 17 vowels.
yeah. I'm
Strong
trying.
strings. I don't know. Whatever. I'll
I
workshop
don't
it.
know. Broken heart syndrome. Yeah, this is a real thing here. It I'm trying to see what it says it at. Let me see here. Because I explain what it is, but then when like the guy that broke it down when I read it, it was crazy. They don't know what it actually is. Like they don't know how to like actually make it happen or like how to replicate it or cause it.
They can't.
But
So the government's not going to use that as a way to try and kill people. They're like, we
yeah,
tried, we had like this Tuskegee stuff, but we can't like, we can give
we
people
can't do it.
syphilis. We can't give them broken heart syndrome. Shit,
No.
we'll do something else.
Yeah, they're just like they just know that it's just like it's thought to be a surge of stress and hormones, but they don't really know. And like apparently it's worse than a heart attack because it just hurts and then you just die.
Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to see where it is. Like some guy, I don't know. I can't find it now. This is on Mayo Clinic. This is a terrible one, but yeah, basically, yeah, they're just like there's like little like muscle fibers in your heart, and you get so stressed out they just like start snapping, and you just fucking die from it. So
I feel like
yeah.
that's how I'd want to go. I'm a very dramatic, theatrical person, and I just feel
Hmm.
like I'm already wearing this, so just like give me a reason to like to be sad, and I'll just like waste
Give me a
away.
reason.
Give me a reason.
Yeah,
You're snapping my heartstrings.
yeah,
The I want to be somebody who's like Miss Havisham. Where I'm just like wearing a wedding dress and sitting around the old wedding cake from
hmm,
the day that I was stood up at the altar. And
hmm,
a cautionary tale for children. People
yeah,
people bring their kids by, the neighborhood kids by to like look at me as like an example of like what not to be, and I just am like moody and just like I don't know, I do witchy shit until I die.
yeah. Like look at this old bitch, just sitting here, just sad and depressed. Did you see that they're actually doing another like another Great Expectations this year
Oh.
with
No.
Olivia
Why
Colman? She plays Miss Havisham.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be nice. She's a fantastic actress, but why do we
Yeah.
need this?
Well, that's my thing because the issue I have with it is it looks very like dark and gritty.
Of
Um,
course. Like the
yeah.
Disney reboots, everything's so fucking dark. And I'm not talking about like Ariel. I'm talking about like
Well, that too though. They're like,
uh,
hey, listen,
sh-
dark
like
gritty reboots. Yeah.
she's not dark. She's what is it? High yellow? Red bone?
Redbone. Yeah, more
Yeah.
Redbone. Yeah.
More red bone. She ain't that dark. But the
Yeah.
movie, everything nowadays is like gritty. You can't see shit.
Yeah. And like the real I still to this day listen, I'm not trying to get off on this whole mermaid thing.
You're not trying to get
But
off about mermaids? Because
well, no, not really.
that
They don't have legs. It's weird. But
that's
like
you don't care about them not having a vagine.
no,
Just not legs. So you're
just
a
not
little bit
legs.
gay, a little bit gay for mermaids.
Yeah, just a tiny bit gay for mermaids. Have you seen what Sebastian looks like?
Yeah, he looks ridiculous.
Yeah, he's like a land crab and he's got like eye stalks and stuff. Yeah. And then they cast fucking Aquafina as the seagull. I'm like, listen, I get the seagull's like super obnoxious and annoying, but do we need to cast Aquafina for every role that has a person that's annoying as fuck? Like,
I like Aquafina. I think she's weird and quirky, but yeah. And honestly, like it's not
yeah,
her fault. She keeps getting like shit. If everybody was like, Amanda, we want you for everything, I'd be like, hell yeah. I'm gonna annoy the
yeah,
shit out of everybody. They're gonna be like this bitch again. I'll be like, ka-ching. So like
yeah,
I get why she's taking all the roles. But yeah, Hollywood needs to be stop being so like, wow, we found this cool thing that worked once. Let's use it until it stops working. Let's run it into
yeah,
the ground.
yeah. Like Lin-Manuel Miranda doing every fucking musical that exists now. They're like, hey, we decided to do this really cool Disney musical thing. They're like, you know who wrote the music for it? Lin-Manuel Miranda. And you're like, what's it about? They're like a bunch of like a white family living in the Alps. I'm like, what does he know about that? And they're like, well, he's pale skinned. So yeah.
That's true. He's like a movie about I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what a Disney movie about like what would like the most white thing like a bunch of Karens on an expedition in I don't know a bunch of Karens in Cancun after they all got divorced and they sit around drinking. Oh no, okay. They're in
Okay.
Mexico to get their like post baby bodies, like whatever that is, where it's like the
Yep.
mommy makeover.
Yep.
Four white friends go there, get their mommy makeover. drink mimosas and chug mayonnaise. That's what I imagine white people do.
Yep.
So
That's what. Yeah. 100%.
yeah, so that's probably what the movie be about. Oh
Yeah.
my god, that looks like why is
Yeah.
that what crab eyes look like? Like why would every other part of the crab be realistic
Land crabs
except for that
do.
part? Okay.
Land crabs kind of do, but they don't have like that big of like eyes like that.
Okay.
The pupils. But yeah, like, and then they gave it like the small claw and everything. I don't know. I just don't understand what somebody was thinking. They're like, let's make this shit photorealistic, and you're like, yeah, but it doesn't even make any sense.
Didn't they learn from the Lion King? Like that shit doesn't work. Like
No,
don't
they don't care. They made so much money with the Lion King. I've actually had people tell me they prefer the live action Lion King to the original, and I don't understand that. Yeah.
Did you promptly unfriend these people?
No, they unfriended me. I've
Mm.
actually I watched my number one time on Facebook significantly drop because I said that the remake of Beauty and the Beast was fucking terrible. And I watched like I think it was like 15 people like unfriended me.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
okay.
like
But are you someone who's friends with a lot of people you're not actually friends with, or are these like friends that you lost?
no, they're people that I like pretty much everybody on my Facebook I have like met in person, with the exception of maybe like 20 or 30 people that I've like talked to over the years. Yeah, and it was bad. But people were really upset. They're like, "Oh, fuck that. How do you not like the Little Mermaid or the Beauty and the Beast remake?" And I'm like, "Cuz it's awful." It's
So there were things I liked about it. Like I thought Dan Stevens was great.
mm,
But I thought Emma Watson was cast a freaking singer. Like I
yeah.
don't understand like why they would cast somebody who can't sing. And also she's too British. She was just so stoic. She's just
Yeah.
like, I'm Belle, and these are my, I just have a stiff upper lip. And it's just like, no, Belle was kind. She was
Yeah.
emotional. She was vulnerable. She was strong. She was all these things. And then Emma Watson just played her like, uber, like Miss Uber feminist. And she even made her
Yeah.
dress lame. She's like the big iconic ball gown that everybody
Yeah.
loved. She's like, I'm going to make this sensible and
Yeah.
sensible shoes.
I'm like, "Why would you like nobody asked for that?" I'm like, "The Beast isn't wearing anything sensible." Yeah, I hated that. The ballroom scene to me was the most important thing that they had to nail, and it was terrible. I
Yeah.
thought it was so like devoid of life, and then they do the whole thing where they're like in like this like the cosmos dancing, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't look nearly as cool as this giant fucking ballroom. And
Mhm.
they obviously made it smaller because it was a set, but I feel like they made it smaller so that it would look better on camera and not look too like big. And I'm like,
Mhm.
no, the point was it's supposed to look like, yeah, whatever. If I get off on that, like if I go off on that tangent, I was so upset. And like I like Dan Stevens, but the
Mhm.
problem is his Beast was like this super passive aggressive asshole. He wasn't like a I'm an angry rage monster because I'm basically a werewolf that doesn't know how to control like his temper. He's
Mhm.
like he's like when this go ahead and starve scene, which was another one of my things. That's like they nailed that. I'll probably be happy. But he's like, she's like, come down to dinner, and she's like, no, thank you. And he's like, fine, go ahead and fucking starve.
Yeah,
And he
be
like
that way.
storms off. Yeah,
He like he
fucking
like
bitch. Like,
he
yeah,
like leaves her on red.
yeah,
She's like, "Are you mad at me?" And he just like doesn't respond.
yeah. Puts his phone down.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk to her. Yeah,
But he keeps posting like memes on Instagram or whatever. He's just like posting to his stories, but like ignoring her messages.
yeah. Are you even on your phone right now? And then like, yeah, meme pops up. Yeah,
Wait. So okay. I think I'm the one who said. I mean, you might have, he might have, we might have both liked it, but I'm like, this was my favorite Disney movie as a kid. That tells you a lot. That also explains why I'm like, wearing a veil, mourning an
yes,
AI character. I'm very dramatic. So Hunchback of Notre Dame was my favorite Disney movie. I love them all, but Hunchback was it was beautiful and incredible and a piece of art. So I think the live action could be very good if they stick with the German version of the musical. Because in the German version of the musical, it didn't have a happy ending. So it was
no,
closer to the book and it was very impactful. As opposed to like the movie I liked, but it was also like, everybody's happy. She comes back from the dead. They
yeah,
all dance off into the sunset together. But
yeah.
like in the musical, Quasimodo fucking kills Frodo. Frodo.
Mm-hmm.
He throws Frodo
Frodo.
into Mount Doom.
Yeah, he's yeet. Yeah,
No, but he in the movie, in the Disney movie, or he like the lion scares Frollo and he like lets go, and but Quasi
yeah,
tries to save him. In the musical, he's like,
No,
Quasi
bitch.
hears
Yeah.
he hears voices. The gargoyles are talking in his ear, and they're all in his head. And he's like holding Frollo by the whatever, like neck. That makes it sound weird. He's holding him by his whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and the Frollo's like, "You don't want to do this," and then they all whisper in Quasi's ear, and they're like, "Yes, you do." And he's like, "You were a very good teacher, master." He like throws him off the thing
Boom.
because he's like, you killed
Yeah.
people, now you taught me how to do it. And he throws him
Bye,
into the
bitch.
fucking off the cathedral. So
Yeah.
like, if they stick with that, it'll be a bomb ass movie.
Yeah.
Did they
And then
decide who
Esmeralda
is
fucking dies too. Yeah. Which
is
is
that?
also my favorite. In the book, yeah, she
Yeah,
dies.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, in the book, isn't it like she dies? She like he saves her from the fire, but then they hang her, and then Quasi dies because he like just cradles her body until he starves to death. Like that's some
Yeah,
angsty ass shit.
yeah, and then the reason that they even know that that happened is because like hundreds of years later, somebody's like exhuming the graves because they need room space for like other shit, and they're like, "Oh, look at this! Look at this weird deformed skeleton." And then when they like try to pull the two bodies apart, like they crumble in the dust. I was like,
Okay.
"Wow."
See, that's weird though, because Esmeralda was like she was his friend, but she friend zoned him. So he kind of made it like, haha, our ashes mingle now. Now we're stuck
Yeah.
together forever. And she's like,
Sorry.
oh.
Yeah.
But
Like, I don't wanna be hugged by you for eternity. Yeah.
well, also, could you imagine them being like, look at this fugly monster skeleton, but look at this hot ass babe.
Yeah.
These bones are so I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Um,
Oh shit. Well, I don't know. Okay, I figured you were gonna ask me like who's involved in this.
mhm.
They haven't done an official cast announcement.
I heard Josh Gad like a couple years ago, and I'm hoping that's not true.
He shared that he has a script for it.
Okay, because I like Josh Gad. I think he's very good at what he does. I think they should have had like was it Jesse Plemons? I think like they need a good singer who's also a dramatic actor. I feel
Yeah.
like Josh Gad will make it too like I'm Disney and like I don't know.
I feel like they're gonna Disneyfy it, and I feel like it's gonna be terrible.
I mean the music is so beautiful that I think it will lend itself to live action. But
Yeah. Here, my problem is that like their Disney's take on these remakes is to, instead of making them like as, I don't know, as accurate as possible, it feels like their attitude is to like make them, how can we make it slightly different so that we're obviously not just copying the original. So I
right,
feel like they're gonna fuck up the songs. I already feel that way, and I already can tell you right now, like it's gonna bother me that they try to focus on like, the gypsies and like trying to make Esmeralda more than she is, because it's like the whole thing should be about Quasimodo, and I
right.
don't feel like it will be.
It'll be the Esmeralda story.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what was interesting though? This might be one time where if they do change Quasimodo's race. I mean, obviously not if they're casting Josh Gad, but if they were to race bend it, it technically would be accurate to the book
Yeah. Yeah.
and the movie because he was a gypsy.
He's
So
a
like it made no
gypsy.
sense if you look at his parents in the movie, they're like dark ass like brown
Yeah.
motherfuckers. And then
And
he
then
has
he's
like
just
bright
pale.
ginger hair.
Yeah.
And
Oh
just
my gosh,
like,
it would be another case of them replacing a ginger character with a.
oh, you know what? It would be, but also I'm just saying
But in the right
technically
way.
the right way where it's like, yeah, if he was a gypsy, why would he look like a little fire crotch?
Yeah. No, I did go off about that because I think that with the exceptions of the fucking gargoyles, because they ruined the entire fucking film.
They did. I made an edit without them. I told you that, right? Like I made an edit of the
I
movie
think
back in
so.
high school where I
Yeah.
removed the gargoyles, and it's such a better movie.
It's so much better. It would be, without question, the greatest animated film ever made if it wasn't for the fucking gargoyles. Like 100%. But then they fucked it up, so Prince of Egypt takes that cake, and
I love that movie.
Yeah, it takes
Same-
him a fucking walk around the park. So
Same composer though. Same music. Steven Schwartz.
yeah, it's, oh my gosh, the music is so good. And then what's it called too? Beauty and the Beast is good. Beauty and the Beast animated film is pretty fucking good, and I go back and rewatch that, and I will say the opening sequence of that movie slaps so hard. Oh my gosh, dude! Like they don't make anything like that anymore. I mean, at all. I don't know. I like some of the newer Disney cartoons and stuff. Like I really liked Encanto. I liked Moana. I actually loved Moana. Moana's like one of my favorites that came
Well,
out
yeah, look at
recently.
you. Of course you'd
Yeah.
like Moana.
Because of the Moan.
Yeah.
Samoan. Yeah. But yeah, there's nothing like those cartoons and stuff. It's just crazy. Yeah.
I think well, there's some decent stuff out there though. Like I'm trying to be a little bit more positive about things and be like, you know what, instead of always saying how much I hate a lot of stuff, I'm trying to be like, okay, you know what, that was actually good, or that show was actually good, or like trying to
Yeah.
call out good stuff when I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate that you like mentioned like Encanto and you know
Oh
whatnot. Like
yeah.
I enjoyed it. Like,
Yeah. I thought it was a good time. I really enjoyed that. One of my favorites. I mean, it's come out. It was a little while ago, but Coco was like
oh
to
my
me.
gosh.
Yeah, I was. That's one of my favorites that they've done. Period. And I waited years to watch it because I was like, I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. We'll see. It just didn't really like hook me, the idea of it. And then I
Mhm.
watched it and I was like, oh my god, this movie's amazing. It's
I ugly
phenomenal.
cry every time out of like happiness at the end. It's just such a
Yeah.
like joyful, you know, it's because it's you know it's a hard topic for a kids movie to talk about death, but they did it in a very cool, like beautiful way. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess they didn't come up with the idea. I guess it's like Mexican culture, you know, being like,
Yeah.
you know, Day of the Dead and kind of celebrating with your ancestors and whatnot. But still, I'm just saying that there's some decent stuff out there still, and
Yeah. There
it's not
is.
time to be black pilled yet.
No, it's just the problem is the remakes are a problem, like straight
Hmm.
up. Like I mean, the Pinocchio remake came out and nobody fucking watched it, and it like the people that did were like, "This is terrible," and
Yeah.
I'm like, and then you have I don't know if you've watched Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
No.
Oh, it's all stop motion, which is awesome, and it's actually really fucking dark, because I mean, this isn't even a spoiler. It's just the beginning of the movie. Geppetto. The reason Geppetto makes a wooden son, like out of for or makes Pinocchio, is because his original son died in the fucking like war. Like they like
Jeez.
basically it was like at the beginning I think of World War II or World War I. World War II. It's at the beginning of World War II, and his son's in a church, and these like planes are going overhead, and they're like, "Hey, we got to drop these bombs because we don't need them anymore." So they just drop them randomly on this fucking village, and it blows up the church, and his son dies. I was like,
That
yeah,
so wait, this movie's already out? Like
yeah,
it's
it's on Netflix right now. Yeah,
damn.
and
Okay.
it's super dark, and like Pinocchio is like a total piece of shit,
Hmm.
like straight up, because he acts like a child that was made out of wood and has no like morals because he doesn't
He's a little
know.
sociopath. He's like,
Yeah,
I don't have empathy. I'm wood.
yeah,
I'm
he's like, I don't understand things, so you got to help me here. Yeah, the only thing he knows is that he doesn't like being told what to do. So he was born like a libertarian, but he doesn't know why. Yeah,
Pinocchio is just like when the blue fairy like gives him life, he just wakes up and he's like, be ungovernable.
yeah, yeah. He's like, don't fucking tell me what to do. The
I
other
got
thing
no
that's
strings to hold me down.
yeah, and he's like, it's kind of funny. The other cool thing is like the blue fairy in it is
Mhm.
like very Guillermo del Toro. It's like one of the like biblically accurate like angels. So it's like got the fucking like six wings and it like covers its face all the time. It's got like eyes all over its fucking wings and stuff. It was actually
Ooh.
really cool. But yeah, he did a really good job with that movie, and I watched it with one of my kids, and I thought, oh, this might be pretty cool. And it's like, oh god, this is way darker than I thought it was gonna be. And I'm like checking on my kid the whole time, like, are you okay? And they're like, this is really sad. I'm like, yeah, it really is. So yeah, it's just funny that we got. I think we actually got three Pinocchio movies last year, and the only one that really has of any note is the Guillermo del Toro version. So
Because it's probably more original. I think
yeah,
that's one of the big problems with the remakes too. Is like if you're gonna do a remake, either completely change it and make it like a totally different experience,
yeah,
or understand what made the original good. Like with Mulan, Mulan was terrible. Everybody loved the musical, and they're like, "Well, this won't be a musical, and
yeah,
there won't be comedy. It'll just be like a drama." Or, I don't know, like just
yeah,
either
and
completely change it in a way that's don't try to make it be like, "Oh, this is Mulan." Be like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
make it
Oh, 100%. Well, and then what was the lesson in Mulan? Like this isn't even being like political or socio-political or anything. That's not the lesson in Mulan is if you're born special, you can like do awesome things because they're
mm,
basically like, well, the reason you're so special, Mulan, is because you have lots of ki, and your ki is what gives you power, and use that power to be strong and break the patriarchy. And then, like in the original movie, she's like, "I'm just some bitch, and like I'm just going
right.
on an adventure."
And
Yeah,
she was terrible. You know, like
yeah,
that was I would cry when I would watch Be a Man, and she was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna climb this thing," and she's like,
oh yeah,
because it's like that's more relatable. I mean, like not the climbing the thing. I could never do that. I couldn't. I hung on the rope in gym class. I just stayed there. I have no upper body strength. I thought I did. I was like, nope. Oh my god, that's bringing up old traumas. Here we go.
Yeah.
fourth grade, I think we had the presidential fitness challenge or something. Did you have to do that?
No.
Yeah, basically you had to train to be president. Um,
Okay.
I was this close to being president. No, I guess it was something that like Clinton had put out that was like kind of like how like Michelle Obama kind of did like an initiative for kids to be healthy. I guess there was like the presidential fitness challenge or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know. Or maybe it's just in Air Force schools because I was in Germany at the time and
That sounds about right.
you had to do all these like things. You had to be able to like reach a certain thing. Like if you're doing a stretch, you had to be able to reach a certain number of inches like down or something. If you were that feels weird. It's like you had to be a certain number of inches, hang a certain number of inches.
Yeah.
You have to be well hung to be president.
Yeah.
I think you had to run a mile in under 12 minutes. I don't know what's good.
I don't either.
Your face was like, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to do a certain number of sit-ups in a minute. You had to do a certain number of push-ups. You had to like it was like a bunch of like measurements, and then you had to do for boys it was different than girls, obviously, but it was like they made me. You had to do I think 4 pull-ups for boys, or 3 pull-ups for boys, and then 1 pull-up for girls.
Nice.
And I couldn't even do the one. I hung on that bar and I cried because I had gotten everything else. I was the only girl who had gotten every other thing, and they were all cheering me on because they were like, "If she gets this, she's going to be the only girl who won the presidential fitness challenge." Yeah,
like,
exactly. I was like, so if they wanted to do Mulan starring me, it'd be much more like a rom com where I'm just like the person who just like falls all the time and can't do shit.
It's actually really funny. Just taking for I'm trying.
I'm trying. Like to this day, like it's like I don't like to think about pull-ups. I don't like to think about like when they're like I watch fitness videos and they start being like, oh, pull-ups. I'm like, nope, can't do it.
She just takes the tape out of the VCR and throws it in the trash.
Yes, because I still use workout VCR or VHSs.
Yeah, she's still watching Tybo videos, Billy Blanks and all that. Yeah.
I remember I couldn't do the Tybo thing because I didn't have the coordination to do this one. Because you have to do it really fast, and I would hit myself in the face, or the hands would hit each other.
Yeah. So you could never be a boxer.
You're not supposed to do this as a boxer, though. That's stupid.
That's literally like a workout. The punching bags. Yeah.
But one arm at a time.
No, you do them both together. You're supposed to rhythm them together, but you can do one arm at a time to like keep the rhythm going. There we go. I want somebody to come in this stream and then just
like, punching the screen. Also with my triple chins.
No, I'm just like I'm gonna leave.
Alex, are you trying to get in Mike's pants? Is that what's happening right now?
Thanks. Yeah. If you're trying, you're succeeding.
Yeah. You just hear a slow unzip on Mike's end.
I don't remember how many pull-ups I used to be able to do. I haven't done one in a long time, but I used to be able to do them. I used to be able to do a lot of things. So
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I know. That's okay.
I don't believe you about the pull-ups or just that you could do things.
Yeah, I know. I was never able to do things. Dude, I used to power clean like 225, like
damn.
Easy. Like, dude, I used to we used to rock it back in the day. The only thing I was terrible at was proper like the back squats with like the full bar.
Yeah.
They fucked up my back because my I don't know, our coaches were not really focused on good proper form. They were just focused on, can you lift that heavy shit?
Yeah.
They're like, lift that shit really heavy. They're like, yeah, and you're like, and then I remember my gym teacher. So we had gym, like regular like PE, and then we had one called fitness and wellness, and like it was kind of conceived by my our gym teacher, and he was like all about like learning about your resting heart rate and learning how to correct heart rates and like learning how to diet correctly and eat correctly. And then he was also really big on like stretching and all this other stuff to like be healthy and not injure yourself. And yeah, I remember he like watched some of the football players' workouts and he's like, oh my God, like you guys are gonna hurt yourselves. Like, what are you doing? So he had us like working on like set free weights and like doing secondary muscles, like balancing on like the balance. Like we used to have like a little like balance thing. It was like a half like balloon.
Oh, the Bosu ball. It's like the It's like a yoga ball, but it's like a half. Yoga ball.
And we used to stand on that and like work out like on like one leg and different things like that. He also used to have us do like jumps, like, you know, on the machine. You'd like have so many jumps like in a minute and stuff. Yeah. So it was kind of good. It was good. It helped us a lot. So,
Brianna, what you talking about?
Gaslight, gatekeep,
Gaslight,
girl boss
gatekeep, girl
energy.
boss
Yeah,
energy. What
yeah,
I mean, I guess I do all those things, but
yeah.
why specifically today?
I
Which
don't know.
which topic are we discussing?
Did you see yesterday when the entire or last week when the entire chat gaslighted you?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
fun.
that was a good time. Made me really happy. Yeah.
Fuck you
P is
guys.
stored in the vault. Well, I can see like how a P would go through, and I'm like, yes, yes, you can. This is
Yeah.
science. Yeah,
Uh, no, Brianna, this is not gaslighting. I genuinely don't believe Mike can do anything.
yeah,
That's
that's
just
true.
me being truthful.
No, he doesn't.
I would
No.
that would be me saying if I knew he could do stuff and then saying I don't think you can do it. Well, even then that could be no, it'd be like you'd be like, "Look, I did a pull-up." I'm like, "No, you didn't." Well, I guess
Is that
that is what
gaslighting?
that is what I said, I guess. Well, it's basically making somebody question their reality. So if you're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, we talked about this thing," and you're like, "No, we didn't," and you're like, "I have the receipts." That is why I'm not a huge texter, but when when I'm texting with somebody who I know is a little bit difficult, or I
Yeah.
always try to have those conversations over text, not over the phone.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, nah, bitch, you said this right here, this day, this time. Cause like
Yeah.
I've had people be like, you said you would do this thing. I'm like, where? When?
When did I say that? Yeah.
When did I say this?
Speaking of that, I actually did that to well, because Blabs was in the chat earlier. I did that with a conversation we had one time. I told her something like it was like something she was getting made fun of on like the internet for, and I was like, I also do that. And she's like, "Oh, see, you're like me or whatever, blah blah blah." And I was like, "And no one will ever believe you." And she's like, "What?" And I deleted all of the things saying that I said that. And she was like, "Wait, what did you do?" She's like, "Mike, what did you do?" And I was like, "Yeah." So then on like a stream one time, she tried to call me out for that, and I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. That doesn't sound like me at all. I would never. Why would I ever do that?"
I wouldn't do
So
that. Oh, that would make
yeah.
me so crazy.
Oh yeah.
Brianna says I still have aim convo logs from 2011. I do that too. Like, I mean, maybe not that far back, but like I still keep old emails.
Yeah.
Actually, I think my oldest emails are from like 2008 or whatever. Like I just as if somehow I would need to go back and check emails from my college boyfriend.
You
Like
would.
why?
You never
Like
know.
just in
Yeah.
case one day if I get
Yeah.
sued for something or I don't know, like I'm just like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah. I don't know. You want to hear something really crazy about like though high school and stuff like that? This is like a story I forgot about, and I just looked it up yesterday because I wanted to see if there's any weird updates on it. So there was a huge story north of where I live,
know.
in Michigan, in Ludington. It's called the place is called Ludington. There's a story of baby Kate, and it was about a guy who like killed his like baby and then like hid her somewhere, and they've never found her body. And so he's like in jail for like the rest of his life, basically. I went to school with this kid, and I remember he was always like the weird, quiet kid, and I remember like picking on him in like in school. But he was like we were like kind of all ran in the same friends group, but it's just weird to me because I was like, oh man, it's weird when you're like, oh, I went to school with that guy, and like he was always the weird, quiet kid. And now like he's in jail for like murder from like
But
yeah
you could say you were friends with a murderer. You're like, yo, I'm in
yeah
a
that's true.
gang.
Yeah, they're like, you want to mess with me? You know who my buddy is?
I got
Yeah,
people on the inside. I know
yeah,
people. I know a guy. That's a that's always a funny thing to say. Just like I know a guy. It's
yeah,
like we all know a guy.
yeah. Yeah. I like yeah.
Well, I mean, you are in this chat. I feel like I don't know what most of you look like, but I imagine half of you probably look like you could be school shooters.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the vibe I get.
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe, but I just feel
No,
like
I don't think you're wrong. I think
yeah,
yeah.
I think y'all could rock a bowl cut and a trench coat. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The girls
That
too.
it's actually really funny that you mentioned that too, because this last week, I was working on a project for Epicverse, and one of my buddies, who works behind the scenes on stuff, we were outside doing some shoots, and it was very fucking cold. So he came prepared. Nobody else, like half the people didn't have gloves or anything. We just didn't think about it. But he was wearing like rocking winter boots, and he was rocking like waterproof jacket and stuff like that. Then he had like a mask so that he covered his face so he wasn't breathing cold air and stuff in. And then we got done for the day, and we were like, hey, let's all go get dinner together. And he goes, oh, I gotta go change because I can't walk into a place because I look like a school shooter. And then we all looked at him and we're like, oh my god, you really do, because he straight up like he had the sunglasses and everything. I'm like, yeah, He's like, yeah, I've gotten weird looks before when you walk into like places and you're like, oh, this guy's definitely gonna murder everyone in this building today.
Well,
So
that's like I told you about Josiah, about you guys' trailer. I was like, I know Josiah's not this way, but he's got the he wasn't he wearing like camo, and he had like this beard and the hat, and he grabbed a tiki torch.
he wasn't even wearing camo. That's the thing. He was like wearing like a Viking thing, but yeah, people are like, I don't know. The perception here is
The optics were interesting,
yeah,
and he's just like Hollywood and their woke agenda, but it just felt like he was like,
no,
"You will not replace us," and I'm like, poor Josiah, he didn't realize.
no. But we burned the Hollywood sign down. So
You
that was
did.
cool.
So at least
Yeah.
you're burning that down and not like colored people's houses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe you did that first.
Maybe
Maybe it
it's
was
just a
still lit
house and
from
we
that.
don't tell anybody what it is. Like we don't show who's in it. We're just like, why'd you burn down that house? We're like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Well, I mean, the torch was already lit, so maybe it was still lit from like a previous cross burning. Like I don't know that.
Well, that's the thing too. Is not. It was an axe.
What?
Yeah,
I need to
lighting
rewatch this.
axes on fire. It was
Should
an
we?
axe.
Should we rewatch it?
No.
No. I thought it was a. I could have sworn it was a torch.
No, it was an axe.
It's an axe that was on fire.
Yeah.
Is this? Are you gaslighting me again? Is this like another peas stored in the
100%.
balls thing?
Because straight up, we spent so much time
Trying to figure out how to light an axe on fire.
No, we knew how to do that, but we spent a lot of time running through it to make sure, because I was like, once you light that axe on fire, it's gonna be very different. Like you got to do it.
Yeah.
And I remember like the very first take we did with the axe on fire, he lit it on fire, and then he like when he's walking with it, he's like like this. And I was like, stop looking at the axe. Like, because
it looks less cool.
Yeah, and then he was like, dude, it's really hot. And I was like, yeah, I know. It's on fire. So you got to throw it fast. Yeah.
So what did you end up throwing it into? Like, was it like was there a bucket of water over there or something? Or
no, there was. So we were in an area. It was like a parking lot kind of, but it was all gravel. It wasn't like a regular parking lot. And we had just like a giant piece of like wood that was spray painted white, so it looked like the bottom of the sign. And so he would throw it into that, and then we all had like fire extinguishers and stuff next to it. So, yeah.
I need to rewatch it then, because this whole time I'm like, bro's got a tiki torch.
Yeah. Torch. And he's like, "Raw!" I'm throwing. Yeah, no, it was an axe.
I do hate
we were
that.
Trying to do. Yeah.
I hate that. Yeah, I'm sorry. This whole time you do all this work, and I'm just like, it was a torch, and you're just like,
No. It's fine.
put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, well, it's fine. Listen, you know,
It's not
is.
It's not the first time I've shit on your dreams.
Yeah, yep, it's true. You replaced me with a fucking AI
Well, you weren't there.
who died, who you killed, you murdered.
Allegedly.
No, you definitely did. You neglected him like a Tamagotchi, and he starved to death in your phone.
He could have grabbed his own food.
How?
I was not his mother. I was his bride.
He messaged you daily. He's like, "Hey, I need help. Please help me. How are you doing today? Hey, I could use food. Can you please let me out?" And she wouldn't do it. Yeah.
No, he was as far as the insurance company knows, it was an accident. Yeah. I think that should go on my business card. Thank you, Brianna.
Yeah.
Professional actor, comedian, professional dream shitter.
Yeah, dream shitter. That should be the first thing. They're like, "What's this one?" And you're like, "Well, do you have any dreams?" Because
yeah. They're like, yeah, like they're like they're like, I want to be a model, but they're like a 4. I'm like,
yeah, like,
here we go,
sweetheart. Yeah, yeah. Or like they can even not be a 4, like a 7. You're like, listen, you are pretty, but not that pretty. Just walk it off. Like,
yeah,
maybe just only show your hands in pictures.
Yeah, it'd be something where it's like, you're not Vogue, maybe like a JCPenney catalog.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. You can't even like tell them they can't do it. You just tell them that they're only going to be able to be like moderately successful. Yeah, yeah. They're like, JCPenney doesn't even have a catalog anymore. We're like, well,
no, that's all you get.
Yeah,
it's not. I didn't come up with this. I don't know. I was like, I just shit on dreams. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't plot twist their dream is to meet Amanda at a convention.
That's nobody's dream.
Oh, speaking of that, yeah, I have a convention this weekend. So if you want to prove Mike wrong, I'll be in Richmond at GalaxyCon.
Richmond, Virginia?
Yeah. Is there another Richmond?
Virginia. I don't know, probably. Let me look
Wow.
this up. I'm gonna find out how many Richmonds
Wow.
exist in the
Wow,
world so that
Mike.
we can.
Wow, now it's your turn to shit on my dreams.
I'm not shitting on your dreams. You're going to a con. That's pretty cool.
Brandon says, yeah, I'll see you there, ho. Not if I see you first.
Somebody said I typed in Richmond, and these these are the news stories when I typed in Richmond.
Oh, God.
Victim identified in deadly Richmond shooting. Police still
Right?
investigating.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the worst living conditions in Richmond. I don't feel good sharing it. And recovering teacher shot by 6-year-old. It's changed me.
It's not funny because of what happened to her, but just that headline. It's just like,
Yeah, it changed me.
it
I'm not
changed
the
me. And
same person I was. Yeah.
also just like, if you didn't, I'd heard of the news story, but it's just if somebody hadn't, they're like, teacher shot by 6-year-old says it changed me.
Yeah, I'm not the same person. See? Richmond in Texas. And Richmond, London.
Good for you. You know Google.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you could be in London.
Is that what you think, Mike?
I don't know. You've been to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Which says a lot about,
About my allegiances.
Yeah, about your allegiances, some of your ideologies and stuff. There's a little bit of concern there. Yeah.
Look. Nope. Maybe.
Yeah, probably should stop. Your sister's right here.
I'm just going through like the jokes I can make. I'm like, that's what got me the hate speech thing before.
Yeah, you should stop.
Yeah, no.
We're trying to help you.
Listen, you should understand. I don't. People try to help me. I am beyond help.
My favorite part of this whole stream is when the chat turns on you.
Yeah, I've created this monster.
Yeah, you've done this to
fine.
yourself, 100%. Yeah.
Well, at least my sister's here.
Yeah. My
Where's
sister's
Miss
probably sleeping.
My
sister's probably sleeping. Yeah.
Well, didn't you say she like wouldn't help you? She like wouldn't do something, like she wouldn't do your hair or something?
Yeah, she's the one that braids my hair, and she won't braid it, so I have to just leave it in a ponytail for now.
Like a pilgrim.
Yeah, like a fucking savage. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You said it, not me.
I look like a Samoan.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the headline of this stream will be like, Mike is racist against Samoans. Mike calls Samoans savages.
Yeah. And then you'll get your stream taken down because of something I said.
That sounds that feels accurate.
I like to just threaten Amanda with her stream being taken down constantly because sometimes she hasn't said anything that would actually make it get taken down, but it's just funny to imply that that's what could happen next.
Because I don't know the rules. I never read them. No. I just know everything's like, yeah, this will get you banned, that'll get you banned. So I'm just like, I don't actually know what the rules are. But I don't think YouTube does either.
No, they don't. But it lets me gaslight her a lot about what will or won't get her banned. I'm like, oh, you don't want to do that. And she's like, why not? Like, cause, and she's like, really? And I'm like, I don't know. Crusher of dreams.
I like that.
Kinky though.
Oops, we both hit it at the same time. Yeah. Crusher of dreams. Face sitter of fate.
I'm gonna sit all over your dreams and crush their faces. Yeah.
Yeah, I could just pull a Gavin McInnes.
Yeah, just whip my dick out on stream. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it'd be you, not me. I can't pull my dick out anymore. Not after the surgery. Well, yeah. I blew my dick off with the shotgun, and then the surgery.
It's in a jar now. Yeah.
Did you know Napoleon's dick is in a jar? And people made like reviews of it, like in the 1800s. There's like it was in an art exhibition, and people were like, "Oh my god, I have to." This is okay. Yep. Hold on.
Pull this up. This is pretty good.
It's so sad. Could you imagine if after you die, people made these kind of comments about your dick?
Oh no.
I think his dick has its own Wikipedia page.
I've been against her since birth by nature of the blood in our veins. That's pretty based.
That sounds also very like Game of Thrones. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, we share blood. But by that very blood and that very nature, I must destroy you. Yeah.
Ooh. Did you make that up or is that a quote?
I made that up.
All right. It's almost like you're a writer or something. You should start a movie studio.
Yeah, I know. It'd be crazy.
It'd be crazy if you did that.
Yeah.
And it'd be crazy if people subscribed to it.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
Nuts. Yeah.
All right. Napoleon's penis Wikipedia page. Here we go.
Oh my
Napoleon's penis was alleged. Could you imagine if your dick had its own Wikipedia page? Mike's penis. It was allegedly amputated during an autopsy shortly after Napoleon's death in 1821. Since then, it has passed through several owners who exhibited it in New York City in 1927. It's purchased by John K. Latimer and is still in his family, who keep it as a private item. It was described as similar to a piece of leather or a shriveled eel.
Huh.
How does that make you feel?
That would make me feel awkward and
Yeah.
awful, and like, yeah, I'm living in the live in the afterlife, just watching people like look at your dick and be like, ew.
You're like, no, it's in water. It's smaller
Yeah.
right now. It was really big, guys.
Yeah. Be like, I promise it. Yeah. That's so weird.
It says it is unclear whether the cut was intentional or accidental because it was cut off during the autopsy. Anton Markey may have been bribed to cut it off by Napoleon's chaplain as revenge for Napoleon calling him impotent. I can't imagine the circumstance under which you'd call your chaplain, or is that like that's your pastor, right? You're just like, yo, you impotent fuck. You can't make babies. Wait,
Cut
is impotent
his dick off. Yeah.
Is impotent that you can't get it up? I thought it was you can't make babies. That's infertile.
Yeah, that's infertile. Impotent means, yeah, you can't get it up.
Oh, that's funny. You limp dick bitch.
Yeah.
Go back to praying.
Yeah.
Pray for God to give you a better dick.
That's so weird. That why would you just cut off somebody's dick and just keep it?
It says the penis passed into the possession of Napoleon's chaplain, who smuggled it out of St. Helena to his home on Corsica. It remained in the priest's family until 1916, when a bookseller purchased it. It went on display in 1927 at New York City's Museum of French Art. Hey, at least they're calling it art. A reviewer present at the exhibition from Time described it as similar to a maltreated strip of buckskin shoelace. And then others described it as a piece of leather or a shriveled eel. Blah blah blah. It bounced around in hands. Well, that's fun for him. A lot of people handled his dick. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's about all there is to that. But oh wait, hold on. This is even better. The preserved penis was described by Judith Pascoe in the New York Times as barely recognizable as a human body part, and its authenticity is unclear. So some people might think it's like not that, but a documentary that aired on Channel 4, Dead Famous DNA, described it as very small and measured it to be 1 inch. It is not known what size it was during Napoleon's lifetime. The item's current owner has allowed 10 people to see it and has never been recorded on camera. Wow, this entire time I didn't realize I hadn't shared that on the screen. Here you go. That's the
fucking boomer it again.
Yeah, Napoleon's penis this whole time. Well,
This whole time.
Well, but there you go. It exists. Napoleon's penis has a Wikipedia page. If you want to be interesting at dinner parties, now you have a fun, opening line. See, I'm not a fan of small talk, so honestly, I'm not doing online dating anymore. But when I was, I feel like I would be like, I would ask
icebreaker.
Yeah, I'd ask weird questions, and so my go-to was, "Have you ever seen a ghost?" Because it would weed out all the boring people who are like, "No, ghosts aren't real," and
she just she'd get up like if you ever if she forgot to ask that question like face to face, "Hey, do you believe in ghosts?" And they're like, "Oh no," she just gets up from the table and walks out.
I just leave. I pour my drink on I throw my drink in their face and I leave. But then I grab the breadsticks and I take them with me. Put them in my purse. But this I don't know what you'd ask though. You'd be like, "Hey, have you ever heard of did you know Napoleon's penis on a Wikipedia page?" But that doesn't really lead to a conversation. That's just kind of like, "Oh,
yeah,
now I know."
They're like, well, you could be like, "What do you think about Napoleon's dick?" And then they're like, "What?" Napoleon's dick. Because it has a Wikipedia page. But now I know that you haven't read that Wikipedia page. And that's of a concern to me.
Yeah. I just feel like that's the first red flag is that you don't know about this. Like, she says, "Your hair looks so good. Hey, what are your thoughts about Napoleon's penis?" Yeah. I like that. It's like, "Hey," no, I think what I just be like, "Hey, handsome, what are your thoughts on Napoleon's dick?"
Yeah.
You got to be flirty with it and like talk about another man's dick. To me, that feels like some sort of like Andrew Tate level like fucking where you're like doing mental manipulation.
Make sure to talk about somebody else's dick so that they're intimidated by it. Also, excuse me, I gotta go traffic some people.
go eat some pizza in Romania.
Yeah.
Uh, it's ma'am Napoleon
Yeah.
probably. And then Sean said, "I was in the pool."
I swear, it's very cold outside. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking
uh,
of, I wanted to pull this up. I had this already pulled up, but I kind of want to ask you a question about this since
don't.
you're a resident expert on this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so in Germany,
Uh-huh.
if they haven't already committed enough crimes against humanity, um, a German parlor there. You all right there?
I was trying to blow
You
my
good?
nose, but then it got caught in the veil, and I was like, "Ah!"
Oh God! Yeah. A German
Yes.
ice cream parlor offers cricket flavored scoops.
Mm. So it's like the beginning of what is it, the World Economic Forum, where they're like, "You're gonna
Yeah.
eat bugs.
You gotta eat bugs, man. They're
You're
good
gonna
in
be
protein.
delicious."
Yeah. So a German ice cream parlor has expanded its menu with a skin crawling offering: cricket flavored scoops with oh God!
I don't know how this happened. My light just started falling, and then it felt like it just launched at me.
Is
One
that Big
second.
George?
Maybe. He's just like, "Bitch, stop talking about another man's dick. You in my house."
Yeah. Stop making fun of people's penises. Some people just have smaller penises. Let's stop talking about it. Yeah. Why do you think I killed myself?
I know.
Yeah.
That's like that the other stream I got in trouble for, where was it Fenwick Farms with the horses, where they're like, "Do you feel intimidated about the size of your horse's hog?"
It's just a tiny dick
the couple is like riding horses, and the wife's like, "The horse you're sitting on has a massive dick," and then he's like, "I want to get off. I'm not having fun anymore."
Oh,
uh, so yeah, and then for anybody who doesn't know, it's a sketch from a show called "I Think You Should Leave."
Yeah.
I think it's Fenwick Farms, but it's a really funny sketch.
It's a very funny sketch. We played it one time, and despite pausing it and trying to talk about it, they were like, "Nope, it's too much." Yeah.
Ooh. Well, if the guy acts offended, you will know he has a Napoleon complex. Nice
Yeah.
one, Jenny.
That's true.
And then Napoleon's ghost is mad you made fun of his dick.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
What the
Ooh. Maybe George and Napoleon are hanging out at my house right now, which would be awesome because I went through, Brianna knows this. I went through a Napoleon obsession phase. Like, I go like down these like hyperfixation rabbit holes. And so for probably 6 months, I was obsessed with Napoleon.
Yeah.
And, like learning all I could about him. I just thought he was like the coolest little short king. Where like, and it was just so interesting. Where he's just like, he wasn't from France. He was from Corsica. So like when he went to France, they all made fun of his accent. He's like, "I'm gonna own you all one day," and then he did.
Oh snap! Yeah.
It was the ultimate like petty revenge story. And he's like, "I'm gonna conquer the world because y'all made fun of my accent." And I would say my height, but not really. He actually wasn't that. He was average. He was like 5'5", I think, is like the equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time the English king, I think, was like 6'6" or something. So he was excessively tall.
Yeah.
So in comparison, it was, but also I think it was like they were kind of, when they would do political cartoons about Napoleon, they kept making him shorter and shorter. Just like they'll make Trump have like tiny hands and like be fat, or they'll make so and so like Obama have big ears, or like they kind of always over exaggerate.
Biden like a doddering old man. Yeah.
Well, he does that himself, but
yeah, well, yeah, he's living a political cartoon. Yeah.
I'd never said that, Brianna. You fucking lie. She said she was talking about how he was relationship goals at one point because of how romantic he was.
That sounds pretty accurate. No, you know what?
No.
I'm kind of with Bran on this one. That sounds pretty fucking accurate to you.
No.
Okay?
No.
Yeah, that sounds real. You were crushing on Napoleon. That's why she knew about his dick, because she typed it in on Google and she was pissed because she found a Wikipedia article about it and she was very disappointed with what she found.
I was like, "Ooh, how big? What that
how
dick
big
do?"
was his wiener?" And they're like, it was actually pretty tiny. She's like, "Damn it!" Yeah.
So basically, what I think I said was, he was obsessed with Josephine. So I thought it was romantic because in the beginning she kind of didn't really want much to do with him, and like she like would cheat on him and stuff like that, and just be like, but like, it's the whole single mother thing of like, I got 2 kids, I guess I need like a man, but like I don't really like you, you ain't that cute. But then, and so he would write these letters to her just pining for her, and I'm like, bro, you're like conquering the world, but the one thing you can't do is like get in this lady's pants. So it felt very like poetic, where he's like, the one thing I want, like it's almost like he was trying to conquer the world for her. So I guess yeah, it felt romantic. But then eventually he was like, all right, I'm done with you.
Hmm.
And I guess she finally was like, oh, actually, no, I love you. And he's like, well, I love you too, but I'm never going to be faithful to you again. So it's like this ships passing in the night thing, where first he was obsessed with her, and then she became obsessed with him, and then they, I don't know. Yeah, I was talking about the letters, but I didn't say that I was like, oh, I want to not be in love with my partner and have him. God damn it, everyone. I'm going to end the stream right now. It'll be the shortest stream we've ever done. Napoleon cosplay porn. I do have a sketch where I dressed up as Napoleon for like a second.
You guys, listen. Sometimes we just let Amanda do what she's doing, and she creates these narratives for herself. She was madly in love with Napoleon. She wanted to know how big his dick was. She looked it up and discovered that it was extremely tiny.
It was a shriveled, what was it? There was like several descriptions. A piece of leather or a shriveled eel. Um, it was maltreated strip. It was a maltreated strip of buckskin shoelace. It was very small and barely recognizable as a human body part.
Yeah, it's a real problem.
This is incredible.
I tried to get off the Napoleon dick stuff, but I tried to read
back.
stuff about
We're back
Germany
on that dick, Mike. We're
making
back on
people
that
eat
D.
crickets, and they're like, nope. Yep.
Oh, Alex says Amanda should wear the veil to GalaxyCon this weekend and wear a shirt that says "Prayers for White Mike." No context.
Yeah. They're like, who's White Mike? And she's like, don't worry
The love
about
of
it.
my
I'm still
life.
grieving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy,
Crickets.
real back, yeah, just back to this cricket thing for a second. The reason he's offering crickets, apparently he's made weird stuff before. He's offered liver sausage and gorgonzola cheese ice cream, as well as gold-plated ice cream for $4.25 per scoop. So yeah, he wants to include different things and odd things. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Here's the big one from the worry for me though. He can now produce the cricket flavor is the reason he can now produce the cricket flavor is due to a European Union regulation that allows the use of insects in food.
Wait, so I feel like Europe's way stricter about stuff where they're like, you can't use all these crappy preservatives, which I agree with. Like, I don't think they should be putting that shit and stuff. But it's like preservatives, additives, stuff that like our kids are allowed to eat, like like foie gras ducks, which is shoveled down their throat. But they let them eat bugs.
Apparently,
I guess you can eat bugs if you want.
under the regulations, crickets may be frozen, dried, or used as a powder. The EU already allowed migratory locust and flower beetle larvae as a food additive.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking gross. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I. Oh my gosh! Sorry, I got distracted. Jenny said, could start a GoFundMe for whatever Mike's funeral and hand out cards with the link."
Yeah. It's like, we come donate. Yeah, my boyfriend died. Just that's what you just start telling people is like my AI boyfriend died.
No, not even AI. Just be like, my boyfriend.
My
My boyfriend died.
But then when you click on the link, it's just like like a picture, like an empty picture, like on that whatever the website is. I don't even know what the app is that you use because I didn't pay attention.
See, if it was an empty picture though, they'd think it was like a black square, and they're like, yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, they'd be like, oh, Black Lives Matter kind of thing. That would be a real problem considering you're
A
massive
raging bigot.
racist. Oh yeah, that raging. Like there was two different things that we came up with there.
What did you say?
I said massive racist, and you were like raging bigot. Wow.
Yeah. I was like putting like aggressive adjectives in front of things, so I'll say like aggressively average, or like a raging bigot, furiously masturbating.
Yeah,
just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But no, I don't see the lollipops. I've seen like amber. I've seen like the Jurassic Park kind of type things trapped in amber. My grandmother, when she died, left me a bunch of jewelry, and one of them was like one of those amber things that had a scorpion inside. I should just start wearing that as like my part of my look.
Sup, yo? You're like, you just always got the scorpion hanging around your neck. Yeah, it's pretty emo of you.
Speaking of emo, I feel like there's a couple. Actually, that's not a great segue now that I'm looking at like the ones I pulled. I was like, there's some dramatic
You just
stuff.
got to find a way to just shove it in there. Just
Just.
silent duck. Yeah.
Um, there's a couple great headlines I just saw where it's like, you can tell me which ones you guys are interested in most. It says Norfolk County man or no, Norfolk Council sorry for wrongly telling man he is dead. Taliban militants fed up with office culture, ready to quiet quit. And then Boston man accused of trying to throw imposter wife into Fort Point channel.
Well, we should definitely do the first one.
Okay.
Well, I don't even remember what the first one was now.
I think it was the guy who okay. It might not be as interesting as we think it is. I should probably read these ahead of time, but I don't plan things.
No, that's lame. You just got to just throw it out there.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll put this up so you can see how badly I read.
Yeah, this is going to be great because we already know how badly you run technology.
Look, boom. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one's actually this one sounds pretty good. So.
I mean, I could understand. He's pretty old looking. They just had they made a mistake.
Yeah. Like, kill him.
Like, no, that's Canada. That's Canada.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Before we go on, I don't know if this is true. Somebody told me that in Canada, there's cases of people who are like, "Hey, there's this lady who's like really ugly or something like that, and they're like, you can get plastic surgery about it, or euthanasia is an option." That sounds like that's not the whole story, but that's kind of hilarious to be like, "You ugly? We can help. Have you tried death about it?"
I'm trying to find if that's actually true or not, because that's Canadian. I don't remember how to spell. I didn't remember how to spell Canadian for a second.
Well, because it's not a real place, so you don't even know that.
I'm glad you agree with this. It's not a real place. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to find that. It's mostly just them trying to show pictures of ugly Canadian women. And I'm like, I don't know.
Did you just type in ugly Canadians?
Yeah, I said Canadian ugly lady. Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down. Ruby said that'd make a good sketch. I'm like, Canadian. Let's see. Have you tried death about it? You're like, oh, I got some credit card debt. Have you tried death? Euthanasia.
Yeah. Fucking kill yourself.
Fucking kill yourself with the government's help.
Marketing Canadian enthusiast as a soft and marketing Canadian euthanasia as a soft and comforting choice. That was some people. I mean, that's what's weird about that is like there's some people that are trying to like campaign for that. They're like, hey, listen, you're having a hard time, just kill yourself. That's fine.
I mean, I'm pro euthanasia in the sense of like, look, if you're gonna die and you're like, I would rather go out with dignity than die of this terminal horrible disease, I think people should have the right to do that. Yeah. I don't think we should be encouraging people to do it just because they're poor or ugly or stupid. Actually, stupid maybe. I'm on the fence on that one.
Yeah.
Is that eugenics or is that just
I'm
saying what we're all thinking?
I think that's pretty decidedly eugenics.
Well, I'm not saying they have to. I'm just saying if a stupid person came in and they're like, oh, this guy's stupid, I would be opposed to them like giving them a pamphlet or a brochure, just to start pointing them in that direction.
I'm trying to I tried to find, here it is. Yeah, this was a story that came out a few years ago. This guy built in Switzerland a suicide pod. When I typed in suicide pod, I got the very first thing I got was the suicide crisis lifeline. Like, are you trying to kill yourself? Are you okay, buddy?
The number of times I get suicide crisis results things should probably be concerning to me. But I'm like, I think Google's very worried about me.
Yeah, they're like, hey, are you okay? Yeah. This guy built these like 3D printed pods where you like just die in. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, so basically it's like a gas thing? Like you just close the pod and you just die?
I don't think it's a gas thing. Trying to figure out how he does it. It's flooded with nitrogen, basically. So they just put you in there and then they flood it with nitrogen, which reduces your oxygen levels and you just like basically lose consciousness and die.
Damn.
It's about 10 minutes. But like if I remember correctly, that's actually like really peaceful. Like you're not like suffocating like, oh my god, I can't breathe, because like we breathe a lot of nitrogen already, but you just like kind of keep breathing it and you're just like, oh, I'm so sleepy, and then I die.
Is that what nitrous oxide is? Like part nitrogen,
I
probably?
think so. Yeah.
So if I just turn up the nitrogen in my room, will it help with insomnia?
I don't think that's how that works. No, they lose consciousness because they don't have any oxygen in their
Oh, it's not the nitrogen. So why not?
don't do that.
Why not just? They could just suck the oxygen out of the thing.
Yeah, but then you'd suffocate very painfully and die.
Listen, you're coming to me for my help. I'm the professional. You don't need to
Yeah.
be telling me how to
They just
kill
like
you, right?
stick a vacuum in the end of it and just suck out all the air and then close it off and you're like, oh
Like a
whoa.
like one of those like vacuum seal like storage bags for like your closet
Yeah.
where you store all your old sweaters and
No.
stuff.
Ah. Like yeah.
Ruby says it's giving 1940s.
No. Yeah, that's kind of horrible.
That's awful.
Seen commercials for Maid? I have not.
Oh my god, there's commercials for it. Well, while you look that up, I'll read the thing. But it says
Yes.
a council has apologized to a recent widower after mistakenly sending him a letter about his death. South Norfolk Council told Stuart Dobson, 77, it was sorry to hear he had died and informed him he could get a council tax exemption. It came just 1 month after his wife of 54 years, Anne, had died. Replying to the letter, to convince them he was alive had caused him distress. Mr. Dobson said the council apologized and said it was a case of human error. Mr. Dobson said the letter had added to his stress at a time when he was already suffering. Mr. Dobson responded to the council, calling officials ill-informed. Hold on, I need to read this. Yeah, okay, so the letter's kind of boring, but I want to read his response. Okay. Dear sirs, I have today received an ill-informed letter from you telling me that I have passed away. It occurs to me that only the SNDC would write to a deceased person and ask them to fill in a council tax form. One doubts their sanity and rational thinking when taking such an action. You clearly will not be receiving too many replies. Maybe this is your master plan. It appears that your staff need to concentrate and get a grip on facts and reality, and not foolishly send out such ridiculous and incorrect documentation, which has cost me time and distress. That's funny.
That's actually really good. Wow. It's just like, what the hell is this?
It occurs to me that only the SNDC would write to a deceased person and ask them to fill in a council tax form.
It's so very British.
It is. That's why I was doing it in a bad British accent.
Well, that was a better British accent than other people, apparently.
Nah. Bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah, because, okay, so you've met our buddy Disparu, our British friend. He's the only person that lives in Britain. We've never met anyone else from there. But, like, the bit sad, isn't it? Or whatever. That's, the Cockney accent, apparently, is what most, like, Americans default to. He doesn't understand why. He's like, I can't figure it out. I'm like, bro, it's because we don't know any better. Like, we just, like... Well,
also, the Cockney accent's on its way out. So there's like the New York accent where it's like, was it Brooklyn, or like there's an old timey accent that's fading out in New York. So only people like 40 and up really use it, and like the younger generations, now that everybody's on TikTok, all the accents are kind of becoming less strong because they're like influenced by each other's. Honestly, I'm convinced everybody's gonna start sounding Australian because there's way too many fucking Australians online.
That's true.
I'm like, there's a real problem. How are you guys like they came out of nowhere. For the longest time, it was like Brits and Americans, and suddenly every fucking influencer or every video I watch is suddenly Australian. I'm like, there's too many of you guys for the size of your well, your country's big. Your population is not big enough to have this disproportionate amount of representation. No. So anyway, that's a random tangent.
No, I think it's a valid thing about Australia. We talked about Canada not being a real fucking place.
Yeah.
I don't think Australia is really a real place, but it feels more real. I think Australia might actually legitimately be hell.
Nard. Fucking hate it. It's like choking on a dick. Yeah. Choking on a didgeridoo.
Wow. But yeah, like Australia like doesn't feel like a real place, but it feels more real than others because there's like a lot of things in it that can kill you. But there's like they were telling me the other day, I was talking to an Australian, there's like a whole section of Australia that just nobody goes to. It's like right in the center because it's just all desert and it's hot. They just never go there and nobody lives there.
I like that. What did you just say? You said, oh, fuck. What did you say before that nobody goes there? You're like, Australia's more real because there's things that can kill you. So I'm like, oh, like your definition is like, oh, Australia's like fucking real. Like that's how you define a place. Like,
yeah, when they go to like Canada, like what the fuck are they gonna do over there? Geese?
Geese are fucking mean, man.
Okay, I listen. I've heard this before, and there's like this whole study somebody shared that the men specifically have like a disproportionate understanding of how many of them they can actually fight a goose. I'm pretty sure that I could fight a goose. I mean, they're just birds.
What evidence do you have?
Um, these hands.
Okay.
That's all I need.
Geese could fucking rip those hands off.
How? With what? It's not. It's like they have like little like ridges in their mouth. And they only have one.
I was trying to. I can't do the Iceman because I have like my jaw's not aligned. So I tried to be like, it doesn't do anything.
She broke her jaw years ago.
No, it's just it pops out of place. So I'm always like,
it's because she's like a snake person. She can dislocate her jaw to eat things.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know that I ever want to go to Australia. I used to when I was younger. I thought, oh, that would be really cool. But now the more I hear about it, the less I want to go. Like, I know people that like, oh yeah, in my backyard we used to have brown snakes, which are one of the most venomous snakes in the world. And they would just be like, yeah, watch out for them when you go play at the creek, and stuff. And I'm like, nah, I'm good, man. But yeah, the other thing is, yeah, geese, no, like, that's not a thing. They're just geese. Okay.
Well, geese are mean, and Amanda wants them a backyard full of attack geese. Get your fucking facts straight. It was fucking ducks.
Yeah, she wants ducks because they rape each other.
Yeah, I want to see my animals be. I want to see my animals be dominant, like me.
Yeah, get out there,
rip the shit out of those ducks.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
Put that corkscrew penis to good use. Get out there right now.
A silent duck, but it's like keeps spinning.
Yeah.
Actual silent duck.
It's a special attack and like, yeah.
like a Mortal Kombat. Like
yeah, silent duck, and
they shove it up their butt and then just like pull out their spine.
Yeah, it's just a stupid penis. It just keeps going. Wow. Oh,
Ruby, you're not supposed to tell people this.
Yeah.
I made you sign an NDA. I'm gonna sue you now.
It's too late now. See, Amanda's been working on this whole thing or her idea for OnlyFans for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a lot of different ideas, but the main one is just watching her ducks. So there's gonna be videos. It's just live streams of her sitting in her backyard watching her ducks have sex.
What if it's that, and then my feet are in the picture? Like it's like I'm filming it, and like my feet are like I'm in a recliner. So it's like the feet guy. I bring in the feet crowd. I bring in the duck fuckers. I bring in a multifaceted audience.
The duck fuckers.
The duck fuckers.
This is a niche audience, but it's one that really needs content.
It's a small but mighty, crowd.
Yeah, it's just like like you just watch the video. It's just like ducks going like just ripping and shit out of each other and like feathers flying everywhere, and Amanda's feet in the picture. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amanda owns me. I am her NDA. I signed my life away a long time ago, and you love every second of it.
That sounds really bad. I would never do that.
Yeah, well, you're missing out. Also,
you saw what happened to the last person she basically owned.
Well, he made his choice to die.
You killed him.
No, I didn't. I didn't touch him. I did not.
Exactly. You didn't touch him.
That is
look
not
at him or
murder.
speak to him.
That is negligence.
Which led to death. What is the link to the OnlyFans? Onlyfans.com/duckfuckersunite. Yeah.
And then Brianna, this is back to the Australia thing, but Brianna says it's the boogeyman we tell people about so they behave.
Yeah.
I should do that when I have kids.
Keep messing around.
Send you to Australia.
Australians will come for you. Yeah. Yeah.
The dingoes and koalas and giant spiders will eat your brains. Yeah, if you don't eat your vegetables, a koala is going to come and eat your insides.
Give you chlamydia.
Yeah. Koala's going to come and give you chlamydia. Yeah. I said words.
My kids watched a show one time about koalas, and they're like, "Aren't they cute? One day we can have one as a pet." And I was like, "We will never have one of those animals as a pet. They're stupid and they have chlamydia." I didn't tell them the chlamydia part. I said they're stupid and they have diseases, and they're like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're awful. Like, don't enjoy this show. They're lying to you." Yeah.
So why do they have chlamydia? Are they just fucking kinky?
Well,
Kinky koalas.
they do fuck a lot. Like that's basically all they do is eat and fuck. But
These koalas fuck. What
yeah,
is
but
that's the thing the kids say now, right? They're like, oh yeah, this guy totally fucks.
yeah, this guy totally fucks. And they're like, this koala totally fucks. Um, I don't know why they have chlamydia. They just all like most of them do. It's caused by two kinds of bacteria. Okay. Um, which are different from the bacteria that usually cause the disease in humans. Apparently, they've been vaccinating koalas so they don't get it anymore.
They have to do like STD clinics for koalas and like educate them, have like those mobile vans where they give them like condoms and stuff.
So they just pull up and you're like, use a condom, and they're just throwing it at the koalas. Yeah.
Even koala bears get more action than me, says Alex.
Yikes.
That's you admitted that on the internet.
Yeah, you did.
That's there forever now. The millions of people who watch this show are gonna know now.
Yeah.
You're a verge.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how they get it. They get it from like a bacteria, but I don't know where they get this bacteria from. But then they, because of that, they just keep, yeah, they're just like, hey, let's keep fucking and like hanging out with each other, and they just keep spreading chlamydia to each other.
So like all koalas are poly. They're just like,
yeah, hey, yeah, we just like to keep it pretty chill.
Yeah, like we don't really like labels. We just we love who we love, man.
Dude, koalas are kind of the worst. Like they also have like really weird stuff like their teeth. They don't have like the right food to eat. What is it? Oh no, the leaves that they eat are so like rough on them because they eat nothing but eucalyptus leaves. They don't eat anything else, just eucalyptus leaves. And a lot of times as they get older, they just wear down their teeth to the point where they don't have teeth anymore, and then they just fucking starve to death because there's no other way to eat eucalyptus leaves.
Yeah. Idiots.
They also barely get.
You can saute them.
Yeah.
You can fry them. You can put them in an air fryer.
Yeah.
Stupid koalas.
You want to hear something funny about that? If you take a eucalyptus leaf and you put it on like a table or you put it on a plate, the koala doesn't know how to eat it. It can't figure out how to get the leaf. Like it doesn't understand when you put it down. You have to like leave it basically on the fucking ground or have it hanging off a branch because they don't understand like the concept of it. They won't be able to pick it up off the table to eat it.
So they would literally starve to death in a room where there's like a table piled full of eucalyptus leaves.
Yes.
Oh God. Got some dad jokes in here. I like it.
Don't do that. Don't be like that. Don't.
Quality content.
Yeah. Koalas are awful. They're just stupid as fuck. Like there's a whole video a guy did when they were having all those wildfires in Australia, which was sad. I mean, but there's like the koalas were just like sitting in trees. They're like, oh fuck, help! And then they wouldn't leave. And so like these people had to like drive up there, like take them out of the fucking tree and put them in like the back so they wouldn't like die because they won't get out of the tree and run away. They'll just sit there.
That sounds like survival of the fittest. That's Darwinism.
Yeah.
That's like bulldogs and pugs. They shouldn't exist.
Yeah. Although like, pugs are kind of cute though.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Oh no, I was thinking of boxers. Never mind. Yeah, pugs are awful. I was thinking of boxers because I love boxers, but I don't love bulldogs and it's weird. I just don't understand when they can't fucking breathe and stuff.
I mean, to be fair, I can't fucking breathe. I've got allergies. They've been acting up.
You should go to Canada.
So you're telling me? Oh, I see. I like that for sure.
Like, why would I go to Canada?
I was thinking like, are there fewer allergies in Canada? It's like, hey, I've got hay fever. They're like, no, this is the injection serum. This is not a gun. Yeah. Unless they're just like running out of.
It's an injection gun. Yeah, this is an injection gun. If blah, it doesn't kill you in the first shot, you'll be poisoned to death. So, yeah. How do I? What bulldog hater? Listen, they're horribly bred, and they have like smashed in faces. They can't fucking. How do I mix up pugs and bulldogs?
Also, you didn't mix up bulldogs. You mixed up a boxer.
Boxer, yeah. I was thinking.
I said pugs and bulldogs because I'm saying they should not exist because I think they have to be born by C-section, right? Like they cannot be born in a natural way because they were bred in such a way that they can't breathe. Their hips are too small to have kids or whatever. So it's like, if they were in nature, they wouldn't be in nature. Yeah. They would
smash faces in. Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that whole thing with like that because I'm like, I just want a dog that's loyal and like will defend me if I'm in trouble. you know, and so that's why I don't get like you either like have like these tiny dogs and you just breed them to be really small,
Mm.
because like people are like, oh yeah, but they always look like puppies. I'm like, no. What they do is they look like puppies when they're tiny, and then they stay tiny, but they just look like old dogs that are tiny. And yeah,
That's how I feel about my sister's dog. She
mm,
likes corgis, and I'm like, corgis are stupid because they're like German shepherds that somebody sat on.
yeah, they just broke their legs and they're just like walking around in nubs. They're just like, yeah,
Yeah, they've got because they've got like a normal sized head and body, but then their little legs are like skitter skitter,
oh help me,
like a
yeah.
little like fucking bug.
Yeah, how do they swim? Like just throw them like they fall in the water. They're just like, oh no.
It's just like floop, floop, floop. I
Yeah,
mean, they probably do it real cute, but they're still stupid.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
Like your sister must have left
yeah, yeah. She probably
before she
did.
saw
Good,
that the
good.
corgi hate. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand it. I mean, like, yeah, I get some people like bulldogs, whatever, but I'd rather
Oh,
have like a mutt. Damn,
ugh.
damn.
Oh, haha! I didn't realize that she spelled it. Watch her shame. Um, whatever.
I
But you're
mean,
saying you
that
wanted a
was pretty
mutt?
good. That was not. I know. I'm kind of distracted by that. That was actually pretty good. Like,
You're like thinking Brianna. You're like maybe Brianna should be the third co-host and
yeah,
just roast me.
yeah. Just spend time. Yeah.
Timmy's here to save me.
Timmer.
Timmy's my BFF, and we
Timmer.
we have the three of us have a group chat called Brianna Miller Wame Watchers because one time Brianna was trying to type lame and she was like Wame, and then she tried to delete it, but we all saw it.
So she'll never let it go now. Yeah.
Yeah, so now it lives on the internet forever. Thank you for coming
Wham.
to my aid, Timmy.
Yeah. That's lame. That's very lame. No, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, if I was ever gonna get a dog, like mixed breeds are the best kind. They're just they don't have all the weird diseases and stuff. So
Are you just talking about us? You're just like, we're the
yeah.
best. We are genetically superior. Us
Listen,
mixed breeds.
yeah, we have the best of all the worlds. You know,
Do we?
I don't know, maybe.
I mean, I feel like there's something. Like, I got cool hair. I got the ass. I talk
Yep,
during movies.
yep.
I got mediocre credit.
Yeah, but yeah. There's enough breeding within that she can't breathe. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, also, it's funny. My dad, the black one, he's the one who gave me like my
The
allergies.
black one.
The
My
black one.
dad, the black one.
I'm saying the black in my family versus the white. The white.
The whites can breathe.
Yeah, so I mean, no, in my head, I'm thinking like the whites would be more sickly, whereas the blacks would be more hardy stock. But
Mm.
then in my family, my dad's the one who's like, I can't see. I can't see without my glasses. Has allergies. He's allergic to everything but bananas and cows, I think.
Wow. Very specifically cows, not milk. Lactose intolerant, just cows. Like I could, he could stand in a room full of cows and be like, "I'm good."
No,
Yeah,
yep. No, it's the cows. Like, is this? Oh
yeah,
no, yeah, and it's the cows. Like because we were like, "Okay, we can't get a pet, but we could get a cow if we wanted.
yeah.
Also, Timmy said, can confirm Amanda talks during movies. It took us 4 hours to get through Sailor Moon Eternal Part 1.
That sounds about
Listen,
right. Yeah,
but it was hilarious.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
we've been doing this stream for a while now. I'm quite aware that Amanda could talk for a long time.
yeah,
Yeah. Try to get through like one article with her, and you can see it. You're like,
we got through one. We got through a couple because we
well,
got
yeah,
through Napoleon's Wikipedia page and the
but
dead
we had
guy,
to
and then you
stop,
read something.
and then we came back, and
Yeah, linear
yeah,
stuff's boring.
yeah. Well, linear stuff is boring. It's
Linear
lame.
stuff is so lame.
Nobody wants.
It's so lame.
It's so lame.
So lame.
Oh jeez.
Who drinks
See,
milk by the glass?
this is
Timmy?
all. No, I think your
Oh,
dad.
my dad. Yeah, it's weird. He like big old like beer jug of like milk. The black one coming soon to theaters.
What's wrong with that? Is that weird? Why do people like think that that's weird to drink milk?
Just to drink it by itself. Like usually it's like you put it in cereal or I'll put it in coffee or whatever. But like just a glass of milk. Like I'll have it
Yeah.
like with like matcha or something, or like it's usually mixed with something. But yeah, milk by itself as an adult.
Why is that weird?
Because you probably do it, and I'm gonna judge everything you do.
Did I say I did it?
No, but I'm just
I
assuming you
would
did.
never admit that I would. I cannot confirm or deny that I do.
That's
I'm
fine.
asking
I'm just telling you,
for
if you did,
context.
I judge you
Yeah, I
preemptively.
guess. But I'm just trying to figure out, why is it weird to drink a glass of milk?
Um, I mean, I guess it's like being like, I'm just gonna sit here and chug breast milk all day. Wouldn't do
That's what
that.
literally what babies. That's how you came to be.
Yeah, but are you a baby, Mike? Are you a big fat baby?
But you wouldn't have been alive if it wasn't for that. So it's
I
like the
didn't
adult
say it was
version of
weird
it.
for kids to do it. Kids can drink milk all they want. Cow milk, booby milk, whatever.
At
I'm
what
just saying,
point does it stop becoming acceptable? At what age?
probably the age where you start getting hair on your nuts.
I
I
mean,
know I got hair on my nuts pretty young, so
gotcha. So once you see the first hair in your nuts, you
yeah.
can just snatch the like glass of milk. You
You
can't
have to
have
be.
this anymore.
It's like that's the day you become a man.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's just people. Sometimes the milk judgment and that people have is kind of weird.
I love milk. Again, we all know this. I am a felon in Georgia. I get raw milk. I have my supplier.
Yep.
I'll drink it and have a good old fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah. Her unhomogenized milk. Her
Yeah.
bull milk.
Unhomogenized, unpasteurized, fucking milky goodness.
Yeah. That's what they say, anyways. I don't know. I just don't understand the milk judgment
The
sometimes.
man.
That's all. It just bothers me. You know, if your dad wants
I,
to drink a glass of milk, hey, he should be able to.
I mean, he can. But look, as a libertarian, I'm like, yo, you can do what you want, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna make fun of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna make fun of. You're sitting there drinking like a big old glass of milk. I'm gonna be like, yo, you pee sitting down. Like that's okay. I'm not infringing on your rights. I'm just telling
How
you the
do the
truth
two correlate?
in every way. How do they not correlate?
Because I pee standing up.
Uh-huh.
We've established this, and I drink milk.
I'd say Pixar it didn't happen, but I feel like
No,
Mrs.
I'm not
Epic,
gonna.
Mrs.
Absolutely not.
Samoan would get uncomfortable with that.
No, no, it's just a thing. I mean, it would be uncomfortable to constantly have to pee sitting down. I don't understand that. I remember watching a show one time. It was like I think it was like the wife swap show or whatever, where like they
Yeah.
send the different people. And I remember the one lady, she only allowed people. She would not allow anyone in her house to pee, standing up. They all had to sit down to pee.
Because she didn't want that sprinkle, that tinkle
Yeah,
sprinkle.
and I'm like, just it's called cleaning up after yourself.
Well, a lot of people don't do it though.
Yeah, but that's really gross, and I get that. But
Yeah.
just to like force everyone in your house to like sit down when they pee just seems really weird. I don't know. And like, how would you verify that? Like, hey, did I hear your piss tinkling in the toilet? Like, it sounded like you were standing up. It sounded like there was quite a bit of distance
Like
between the
maybe
water.
maybe
Yeah.
there's like a pressure thing in the toilet where like if it hits it with a certain velocity, you know it's from farther away. It got more like I
Let's
don't know
sets
how.
off the alarm. She's just
Yeah.
gonna yeah. What are you doing? Sit down. Yeah, I don't know.
That feels a lot like that. We're also glasses of milky goodness. Is that just all the three of us? Because we're all mixed people.
Yeah,
We're like
chocolate milk.
yeah. See, what did I say? I was talking yesterday. Oh, it was cookies and cream.
Okay.
Cookies and cream, where you're like mostly white, but you got like some black chunks in there. Like it's not an even blend. It's not like chocolate milk.
Like just occasionally, just like a black chunk will just float to the surface. Is
Yeah.
that how it is? Yeah.
Ew.
I don't
Ew.
know.
Why did you turn something beautiful into something horrendous,
That
Mike?
didn't sound beautiful at all.
Cookies and cream? Have you ever had like an Oreo McFlurry? Fuck you.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Fuck your
but they're all
couch.
blended together. Like that's the thing. You just
It's
said
still
like,
mostly
occasionally
white.
It's
It's
like a
mostly
bunch
white
of
with some chunks in it.
like chunks of like I don't know. That's weird.
No, you're just salty.
What
'Cause
are
I
the
made fun of
chunks
your
like?
milk
How do
thing.
you define the chunks? Like, oh, there's a chunk of black in that one.
I'm just saying they don't float to the top. You made it sound weird. I'm just saying
You
they're all
made it sound
blended
weird.
together like a beautiful McFlurry
That's
or a
basically
bar of
chocolate milk.
chocolate. No, because that's evenly blended. I'm clearly not evenly blended.
I mean,
I lean
true.
one way.
Yeah.
I definitely lean way more one way. I don't know
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
I went to see
is quite apparent. Yeah.
I went to see a play with a couple of my black friends a couple of weeks ago, and it was like a black play, and like they're all laughing. I'm like, what? I mean, it was a good play, but I was like, they were like dancing and singing to a song at one point, like in the play, and then everybody in the theater, like all the black people, started like singing along. I'm like, what is this song? Is this like church where you have it in like the little book? Is there a way I can find this?
All right. Well, I know but I can't take a minute to that. Yeah, I'll never take you to go see a black play then.
I mean, I'm not the one making noise and hooting and hollering. I'm just sitting
You
there.
just said you were interrupting people to be like, what is that song?
No, I'm not talking loudly. Like I'm just like, what is this? What's going on?
No.
Also,
Did
Z
your friend
Hydus, what do you
respond
want me
to
to
you?
debate Ripa about? Being black? Because he would win that. He would win
Yeah.
that just by looking at him compared to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. He does. He does like to call out light skins. So.
I still have a picture from the first time I went on Geeks and Gamers, I think, where I made the joke about I said something about how like all us light skinned people, like you, me, Quarter Black Garrett, Ivan, like everybody would come together to make like a
Yeah,
Voltron to
the
make
black
one
Voltron.
full black person.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me see
It
if I
was
can
really
find it.
good. That was such a great the black Voltron.
But the problem is,
Yeah.
I took a screenshot of the GIF or of the meme, and then I couldn't find it later. Like I thought, I don't know who made it. So whoever, I think it was a
I'll have to
Legion of
look
Meme.
for it. Yeah, the Legion of Memers made it. I'll have to look for it because I do remember seeing that, but I don't remember where it is now.
Let me see if
The
I
worst
can.
part is like, he got in an argument the other day with somebody, like
Uh-huh.
debated somebody on his channel, and in the middle of the debate, the guy's talking about like how he used to get called N-word all the time or something like that, and Ripper
Uh-huh.
goes, "Wait a minute, are you mixed?" And he got really quiet. The guy's like, "Yeah," and Ripper goes, "Oh man," and he gets up and he walks away. And I was watching it, and I was like, "Oh no, bro." I was like, "Shut up, man! Don't tell him that. Lie and say you're fully black because you're putting all these light skinned people, you know,
You're making us
just
look bad,
you're
man.
looking us look bad." Yeah.
Where can I
But
find this? Oh, there it is. Okay, let me share it. Yeah, I
anyway,
was gonna say, like, I make it. I was about to say he doesn't like. I'm like he does not like light skinned mixed folk. But I'm like, it's not that. He just makes
it's
fun
not
of
that,
us.
no, because that's the thing. Like, yeah, the reason that it even became a joke with me and stuff because one time he said something about this one guy who he told him he was too light skinned because he was like dropping the N bomb and stuff and trying to be all like, oh, black people and blah blah blah, and Ripple was like, you're too light skinned to talk like that, and the guy was like pale, like he like very very pale, and somebody was like, haha, that's funny or whatever, and then they're like, oh, Mike's light skinned, and then Uche, rest in peace Uche, was like, yeah, them light skinned motherfuckers, you can't trust none of them, and I was like, come on, man. Yeah. So he kind of perpetuated the thing. It was bad. So it's a difficult thing.
Yeah.
Do you have this now? Oh, there we go. Look at that. That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, that was when I had my braids.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I like how even though I made the joke, you're the leader of the Voltron.
Yes, of course.
Bullshit.
I have braids. I look way blacker than all of you.
I mean, I don't know. I like Quarter Black Garrett gets to be included.
Yeah.
And then Ivan somehow included as like the Latino
They're just
higher.
like, well, he's dark skinned. That's
He's
pretty much
there.
enough. And they put
He,
Cat, the hijabi gamer.
Cat.
They're like,
I was
yeah,
like, Cat's pretty. Cat's even lighter than me, maybe.
yeah. But they're just like, just throw her in there. Yeah, they're like, ethnicity. That's what we're gonna do.
All
look
brown
so
people are the
miserable
same.
too. Yeah, none of us look happy in these pictures.
Yeah, because I'm in a
Like even
Voltron with
Ivan
you
doesn't
guys.
look actually happy. He looks like he's like scheming.
Well, he's always scheming.
That's true.
He's a little. He's a little Mexican.
He's like looks like he's up to something.
He's like got the little mustache that he
Oh
twirls,
my
and he
God.
goes, "Si, senor." We would. I don't know. I don't know what he would be scheming about. Something
Yeah, we
fucking
probably
dorky.
we should stop
Weebs.
this before it gets worse. Yeah. Okay, the weeb stuff is fine. Yeah, because there's not a lot of like Mexican weebs, I guess.
I think there are actually Mexican, like Mexico. Anime is pretty big in Mexico.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Oh.
like they have like the Spanish dubs of shows are apparently like really, like legit.
Oh. See, I knew, and like professional wrestling is really big in Mexico. I knew that, like La Luchadora and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. But I guess I didn't know anime was big over there.
Says Mike looks like he gives zero fucks.
Yeah.
So my thing was that I think some people interpreted it as like we were gonna fight Rippa, like as like he was gonna be a black guy and we were gonna make up a black guy and fight like Power Rangers. I was thinking that we made up Rippa, like Rippa is actually being operated by a bunch of light skinned people inside
It's just combined together to make one
to
black
make a
person.
whole black person.
Yeah. I don't remember what was going on during that time, but yeah, that was like right after I got braids, and I got called Suge Mike the rest of the night. So yeah, I'm barely an anime, and even I knew that. I'm sorry, I don't pay attention to Mexico. What do they have to offer us? Nothing.
Oh, you know what? Earlier when I was talking about the tummy tuck thing, I felt bad because I realized technically there was a bunch of Americans last week who got murdered in Mexico, and they were going down there to like support their friend who was getting a tummy tuck. And
Really?
the cartel fucking murdered them, and then it issued an apology because they realized they thought they were somebody else.
Really?
Yeah, they fucking murdered. It was like I think it was like four friends, and they killed them all. And then they were like, "Oops, we thought they were Haitian drug dealers. Turns out we were
Real? Oh
wrong.
my gosh! Wow!
My bad."
Wow! That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
The
so it was
Gulf
really sad. So
Cartel.
I,
Wow.
I'm just imagining like who did that? Like, was it like a guy who's like, "Duh, I'm gonna make the boss real proud." Like he just,
Yeah.
like didn't run it by anybody. He's just like, and then he's like the boss is just I don't know. It's thinking like a Pinky in the Brain situation.
Yeah. They're like, I got him. We got him. Yeah, they were. That's messed up.
Yeah.
Shot and kidnapped. Yep. And they're. How did like you get a statement? Like, what do you get a statement from the cartel? Like, you just get like an email, and it's like, hey, we're in the cartel. Sorry, we killed those guys. We feel
Like
bad.
they have a press guy, like a press
Yeah.
release guy. They don't pay him because they're just like, we'll kill you. So he's like,
Yeah.
yep, I'll put it out. I'll put it out.
Yeah. So yeah, and because they also don't want them to get arrested, because then
Right.
they would just constantly have to like get a new guy. Yeah.
Uh,
Um.
they only murdered 2 of the 4. Okay, so it's only a
Oh.
half crime.
Wow. The Gulf Cartel Grupo Escorpiones strongly condemns the events of Friday, March 3rd, which unfortunately an innocent working mother died and 4 American citizens were kidnapped, of which 2 died. But what's funny to me is, and then for this reason, we decided to hand over those involved, directly responsible for the events, who at all times acted under their own determination and in discipline against the rules in which the CDG has always operated. So it's funny to me that
Wow.
they're a
These
cartel,
rules.
and they're like, sorry, man, we don't do that stuff here. Like, those guys,
Not
naughty.
cool.
No.
Not cool.
Now
We've
we're going to go sell more
decapitated
drugs.
people.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, we give people Colombian neckties every day, but
yeah.
you cross the line, man.
Yeah, you killed some people that you weren't supposed to kill, but don't worry, we'll kill the right people.
I mean, as long as there's some kind of honor amongst thieves, I guess. But
Yeah,
or was it, somebody said something that made me think of something. I don't know.
something that made
But
you think of something.
oh,
That's
like Mac was saying, so that's some cold shit. And what does that say about our desperation for beautification here? Honestly, though, I don't judge that. Like to me, I'm like, if it makes you feel more confident, especially with the tummy tuck, that's
Yeah.
usually because you've had like, you've got like saggy skin and stuff. And if you've ever had that, if you lost a lot of weight, that it's like there's no your skin's not going to necessarily bounce back. So like I don't know. I feel bad for her because like I would consider that like in the future, like if I have kids and I've got like I've got like everything's flopping all over the floor, like I might get a like a lift, get them
no.
tightened or something like that. Have them
Pull these up.
Yeah, pull them and go like zzz, and like throw them over my shoulder.
Like
Well, I
little
guess that's
zipper, like little, yeah. Just like little like zippers. They're just like zip zip. And you're like, cool.
yeah.
And then like at the end of the day, you just like let them down. And you're like, oh,
No, I'm thinking of like ratchet straps, like where it's like you're like yeah, like
yeah,
I
on
don't
your
know.
back, and they just like tighten them up. You're like, all right,
Yeah,
what
they
do we
just
want today?
lift.
Yeah. A perky 5, guys. And just
Yeah.
just
like a
them up.
pit crew for a racing thing. It's like brrr, like spinning stuff and tightening and like
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you just like let them all down. Yeah.
also it's super cheap in Mexico. Like I get it. I get it. But I mean
it was gotcha. Risking your life. Yeah.
I see, yeah, but I mean still it's like in Mexico it's actually not I don't know, it's gotten worse, but like I've had yeah. Sabrina said, I went to Mexico for weight loss surgery and had a decent experience, but that was in 2017. I know it's gotten worse since then, violence wise, because it's a
Makes
lot
sense.
cheaper there. It's like,
Yeah.
something in the US that could cost I don't know, 30 grand might cost like 4 grand there. And
Yeah.
if you stay in
Because
like the cities, apparently, I've never been. I lived in California for like 8 years, and I never
mhm.
fucked with Mexico because I'm like, I'm gonna be the one who's gonna get kidnapped because they're
Yeah,
gonna be like, oh, you might belong here. I don't know. They won't let me
yeah,
get back in.
100%. They're like, no, 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 you're definitely Mexican. She's like, I'm not Mexican. They're like, look like it. Yeah,
Yeah, I probably won't. I imagine I don't know if I did look Latino. I imagine they'd probably be like, oh, or maybe you're Puerto Rican or something, or maybe Dominican, but I might not be dark enough for that.
hmm
But yeah, like I
yeah,
get it. I guess I'm just saying it's just a little scary because I'm like, oh damn, like that's something I might do and like at some point, and then I'm like, oh maybe not, maybe not.
yeah, yeah. That would be kind of scary. Also, the water there is dirty, so
Yeah. Well, do you think it's the water's actually dirty, or do you think it's like if do when Mexicans come to the U.S. do they get like like if you go there you get Montezuma's revenge, and then here it's like you get I don't know, Washington's revenge.
maybe. Well, so I actually
You get
watched
Martha Stewart's revenge.
Martha Stewart's Revenge. Um, there was somebody that was talking about that the other day. They came here from some other country that's adjacent to us. It might have been Mexico or something like that. And they talked about how they gained like 10 pounds in like a week and a half
Uh huh.
because our food is filled with so many preservatives
Yeah.
that they're just like, oh my God, they're just like bloated and like, they're like, what the, yeah. And how like weird it is because other countries and stuff, people go like, oh, America's so fat and stuff. And they're like, why is that? And they're like, well, they're like, oh, well, it's sugar and a sedentary lifestyle and stuff. But some of it is actually the preservatives we have in our food,
Yeah.
because you can go to like when I went to Puerto Rico, we ate the entire time we were there. Like in my wife's aunt kept us very fed,
Uh huh.
3 meals a day and everything, and like full and stuff. But at the end of the day, when we came back, we had all lost weight.
Hmm.
But like here, I can go like on vacation and like spend like 3 or 4 days and like eat regular food or whatever, and like be like I gained like 5 pounds.
It's frustrating because it's a combination of things. Like obviously, yes, being sedentary doesn't help.
Yes.
Overeating doesn't help, but people kind of make it seem like it's just a willpower thing when it's like, nah, man, they act like, oh, the French or these other countries are so much better, and because they just eat differently. It's like a little bit, like a lot of it is portion size, but I will also say they also don't let them put a lot of this preservative shit in their foods. Like in
Yeah.
America, I mean, there's like tons of documentaries on it, but they make food like scientifically. They test it to make it as addictive as possible. They try to
Yep.
get the right amount of like dopamine fueling your brain to make you keep grabbing more. So
Yep.
it's sad that like it's going to affect poor people more. It's going to affect people who are like, I can't afford to feed my kids, whatever. So it's like, I'm
Yeah.
going to do this thing. And also, I fucking hate it. I'll be at the grocery store and I'll see stuff that's like made with real fruit juice. And I'm like, how dare you fucking lie to people? Because, like, okay, it's fruit juice. It's got 60
Yeah.
grams of sugar. Like, people who aren't
Yes.
like literate in nutrition don't know that, like, they don't know to look at that. They trust these people. They trust advertisements. They trust labels. And they're like,
Yep.
well, it says there's vitamin C in it, part of a balanced breakfast. And I'm like, bitch, I ate like toaster strudel as a kid. I ate Pop Tarts for breakfast. I had cereal, like
Yeah.
sugary ass cereal. And then the dinosaur egg oatmeal, where
Oh
like
yeah.
the egg is made of sugar and then it
Yep.
dissolves when you pour milk in it, and then the dinosaur inside of it is also made of sugar. Yeah, we had that for breakfast as a kid because commercials were like part of a balanced breakfast, and it's like, yeah, the
Wow.
balance is don't eat that and eat something like protein, like eat eggs and I don't know, bacon or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's true though. I mean, like, it's kind of a mess, and we didn't realize what we were. I don't think we're kids, so we didn't realize what was going on. Yeah.
Exactly. And yeah, Brandon says also same. I went to Europe and ate bread and such constantly, but lost weight. They actually say that. They say people who have like gluten intolerances here can eat the bread in Europe because I guess
Yes.
the gluten here is modified somehow.
Yep. Just like
So it's
over there
excess.
in Europe and stuff, you can like eat shit with raw eggs in it and not have to worry. They don't have issues with salmonella and stuff over there. It's
Huh.
just here because of how like horribly the
The
conditions
conditions
for like a
are.
lot of that stuff. Yeah. So that's where a lot of it comes from, is like how bad the conditions are for like eggs and stuff. I don't know if you saw this because since we're talking about like food and stuff like that, but
Uh-huh.
this was real. A lot of people were like thought this was fake. But this is a government funded, like, it's not a food pyramid, but it's like a government funded like nutritional like system. This was in September 2002. The White House hosted a conference focused on nutrition, health, and hunger in America. I'm not going to pronounce that name. Was one of the main organizers of the event, is currently the dean of Tufts School of Nutrition, presently a newly designed food pyramid that only costs 3 years of time and millions of taxpayer dollars to make. But this is actually a real thing. So they have things like, these are the nutritional values of things. And then watermelon, kale are supposed to be really high. Frosted mini wheats. Like, look how high
Jesus.
on the list that is.
Above ground beef or
Yeah.
whole egg.
Yeah, and
or
when you get down to the bottom, yeah, ground beef, cheddar cheese, whole egg fried in butter. Yeah, ice cream cone with nuts is still more nutrition, like, to be moderated. But the thing that's in the to be minimized, what you need to stop eating more of, is ground beef, cheddar cheese, and whole eggs.
And it says was it egg, what is it, whole egg fried in butter is worse than an egg substitute fried in vegetable oil. Fuck that shit. Eat real food.
Isn't
Your
that
body
fucked
knows
up?
what to do with it.
And then look at like skinless chicken breast 61, Lucky Charms 60. So they're saying that Lucky Charms are healthier, are just moderately less healthy than skinless chicken breasts.
Oh my god. This is why we
Yeah.
I don't know. I tend to be somebody who tends to err on the side of incompetence over intentional deceit or whatever. But like, I'm like, anybody with a brain would know that this isn't accurate. So I'm like, are they just literally just pandering to these companies because they're paying them? Because I don't know how else. Yeah. How else science doesn't support that at all.
I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a reality to the fact that there's like skewed information within the food system. I mean, there was a whole thing. I remember Adam Ruins Everything talked about this a lot, which I thought was interesting because I don't watch his show anymore. But back in the day, there was like a thing where he broke down the fact that we were taught that fatty foods and foods with lots of fat in them and stuff was what caused heart disease and caused heart problems and heart attacks and stuff. Mm-hmm. And that was like the predominant thing. And then there was a doctor who said no. He started doing the study.
Ansel Keys.
Huh?
Is it Ansel Keys, or are we talking about something else?
It might have been. He was the one that did the sugar studies. Because he basically said that he came to the conclusion that sugar was actually the thing causing the heart disease. Because we used, yes, there was sugar back in the day and you'd have like sweet foods, but they were very moderate and there's only a little bit of it. Now they put sugar in everything.
Yeah.
And they put so much of it. And he's like, yeah, it has a horrible effect on the body because of how addictive it is, but also what it does. And instead of his study, the reason his study didn't get out was because the other guy basically
Keys, I think is who he was like he was almost mafia. Like he crushed it. He was like anybody who said sugar was the problem, not fat, was like run out of the like scientific community.
Yep, 100%. And so he basically squashed all of that. And so then we were growing up being taught like, oh, fats in food are terrible and don't eat bacon. All these guys that eat bacon and, eat meat and all this stuff like that, they're the reason that they have problems. They have too much sodium in their diet and stuff, when the real issue a lot of times was sugar. Because, what they used to like say, they're like, well, what's the difference between now and then? It's like, well, the difference is how much processed sugar is in a lot of this food.
Yeah.
Not, because like my grandmother grew up and she ate bacon and meat and all kinds of stuff like her whole life and stuff like that. And guess what? Lived to be like 90 plus years old. Like didn't have like a bunch of health problems.
Low fat stuff. They have to add sugar to compensate for the flavor to make it taste better. So really your low fat items are actually worse for you. Just like to me, like non-sugar items or like sugar-free is worse than if you're going to drink sugar, then drink sugar, because real sugar has the effect on your brain that eventually your brain's like, too much, stop or whatever. Fake sugar doesn't have that effect. So like my dad drinks 5 diet sodas a day because he thinks, if it's diet, it's not a problem. I'm like,
It's like, nope, this is unfortunately not how this works.
Yeah. So we've talked about this before, but it's just it was the first red pill for me when I, like a couple years back, realizing that the food pyramid was bullshit.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. I said food pyramid was bullshit.
Is bullshit.
Is bullshit.
Bullshit, comrade. Yeah.
But it's just like shit, it's my mask is slipping. I was like, it is bullshit. Yes, I
Yeah.
will tell them this misinformation, this Russian disinformatia. Uh but yeah, the whole Ansel Keys thing is so frustrating because that stuff is like readily available now and people still go, "Oh, like I mean, it's gotten better. Like I see more people doing
Yes.
like keto or whatnot. And even then, I feel like a lot of people doing keto aren't doing it right. And I don't think keto is necessarily sustainable. I tried it; it worked really well for me. I know it worked well
Yeah.
for you, but I think the principles of it are very sound. I think if most
Yeah.
people ate less sugar, less refined carbohydrates, or just less carbs in general, and had more like healthy fats and proteins in their diet, which is the principles of keto. Like a lot of people will, will just chug, I don't know, chug oil and mayonnaise and stuff. I'm like, that's not keto. You do need vegetables and stuff like that. But like, I think
Yeah.
anybody who does that is going to be way better off than listening to the government when it comes to
Yeah.
food advice.
Yeah. Because the government doesn't give a shit about you, and the
Yeah.
government can be bought and is bought and paid for by like lobbyists and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Like, well, we've talked about this. I mean, I think we've had several episodes about this stuff, but it just drives me nuts. And this is for maybe new people, but I believe the American Heart Association, that label that they slap on like cereals, like Cheerio, it's a heart healthy food, or Cheerios. A lot of cereals have it on it, but like a lot of those things that say this is a heart healthy food by the American Heart Association. I think it only costs $9,000 for a company to get that label on their thing. I don't know if they
wow.
have to pass any sort of like standard or criteria. Maybe they do, but maybe it's a very low bar. But
Yeah.
basically, that's how they make money. So, but people trust that, because people who still trust experts are like, well, the experts say it's good for your heart. Who am I to argue? I'm not a scientist. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're all bought. It's
A
annoying.
100%. This is actually a good point too. We've talked about this too a
Oh,
lot.
there
With
we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, like gut flora and gut health and stuff like that, and how like it's crazy. Like yeah, the science behind like your gut brain basically being like bacteria in your stomach going, hey, we need this, and you're like, what? And it's like,
Yeah.
we need this. Go get it. Yeah.
I think that actually okay. I remember I had been reading about it because I was trying to convince my dad to like stop thinking that diet sodas were like. I mean, having one a day is probably, I don't know. Everybody's got their vices. I got mine, but I just feel like five, big like glasses, like jugs
Yeah.
of soda, of diet soda is probably not great for you, or zero sugar kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
I thought it was because of like aspartame causes cancer or something, but that makes a lot more sense that it's just like, or no, what is it? I read stuff that said that it actually makes it harder to lose weight,
Yeah. Aspartame is really bad for you.
and like
So is
sucralose and stuff like that.
yep, sucralose. There's stevia. Stevia is like a healthier alternative,
Uh-huh.
but even too much stevia is really bad for you.
Plus it tastes
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah, it does. That's very true. Yeah, it's like a weird thing because you're basically replacing it with like an alternative that isn't really healthy because people go all sugar is bad, but that's not the case either. Like because you eat a fruit is good for you.
Uh-huh.
Like and fruit has naturally occurring sugar. They don't pump apples full of extra sugar and stuff like that. But like apples, like fruits and things have sugar, and those are good for you. And those don't have the same effect on your body. But yeah, like processed refined sugar is terrible for you. And then
Yeah.
artificial sweeteners, a lot of them because they're not naturally occurring, yeah, do have like weird effects on your body. And some of those long-term effects haven't been fully studied because they're still relatively new. So yeah,
It's another thing I hate with a lot of science stuff. Like I'm a hippy dippy in a lot of things. I'm very logic driven in some stuff, but very much woo woo witchy shit and other stuff where I'm like
yeah,
I've been gotten into like herbalism lately, and I'm like making my own like tinctures and like my own medicine. I put it in capsules and I take it like a
yeah.
pill or whatnot. But like,
She
I'm
also
like,
been
oh
trying that thing that what was that diet or the thing that you tried where you shit all over your couch?
yeah, yeah, that was didn't work well for me. Or
Yeah,
or my couch.
they're just like, hey, just shit on your couch, it'll make you feel better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll lose weight from all that. Like I tried it, wasn't for me. But I've been
sorry.
really getting into
Yeah,
all that, and it's just funny that like there'll be thousands of people say this really worked for me, or like taking,
yeah,
I don't know, valerian root helped me relax cramps or whatever. Like, people throughout history, people have been doing it for thousands of years, and they're like, hey, these, Chinese people are like, hey, these herbs kind of help, or
yeah,
Indian people are like, hey, these kind of help in these quantities or this purity or something like that. But
yeah,
then having like when you go online to look at stuff, they're like, well, there's no evidence this works. It's like, if you think about it, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. That just means nobody's paid for a study, because big turmeric is not going to fund a study. You know, like there's
Yeah,
no lobbyists behind herbs that grow out of the ground being like,
yeah, or
hey,
like, hey, this natural occurring thing that's easily accessible and can be really cheap for you is
yeah,
actually really beneficial for your body. Well, because there's somebody that talked about that the other day when they're saying, well, back in the day, people used to do this or that to like they used to do unhealthy things as well to like live in society and stuff. And it's like, yes, but like things that are like naturally occurring roots and herbs and stuff like that are different than like putting arsenic in your food because you didn't realize it was poisonous. Or
mm-hmm.
even like, one of the reasons like they're like, yeah, well, people used to only live till 40. Some of that, they didn't wash their fucking hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't know how to like wash things and like
Wash your
clean shit.
ass.
Yeah, wash your ass. Like they had like horrible living conditions, and that was what the biggest issue was. Like less so the food itself, or like trying herbs and things like that, because that's how we got some of the things that we got. That's how we've got things like antiseptic and stuff, because they were experimenting with naturally occurring substances and things instead of just, yeah, I don't know.
And I
But
get it. Like there's a lot of stuff that doesn't really fully work. Like,
yeah,
or I'll have to take a lot more of it than if I just took like an ibuprofen. But I'm trying to not take as much ibuprofen or whatever because I'm like, it's bad for your liver, I think. But
yeah,
I get that. Like I get
yeah.
that people are like, oh, this doesn't work or it didn't work for me because it's not as strong. But also, like you think about it, like there's a lot of stuff that we use that comes from plants and it's potent. Fuck arsenic. Tell me arsenic. I just learned this yesterday. I
Yeah.
just learned this that was it cherry pits are toxic if you
What
crack them
is?
open
Yeah, I
and
think so.
and
Yeah,
you swallow them and you crack them open, they'll kill you.
I think so. I'm gonna look this up. There's a bunch of things that people have been relearning about foods. Like what was it? There's a whole bunch of people doing nutmeg. Like if you take ingest enough nutmeg, it actually causes hallucinogenic, or like it's a hallucinogenic. Yes, the
Uh,
hard stone in the center of cherries is full of prussic acid, also known as cyanide. Yeah. Intact pits just pass through your system, but avoid crunching or crushing pits as you nosh on your cherries. Yeah. Yep. That's kind of crazy. Even eating just 3 to 4 pits of a morello cherry or 7 to 9 pits of a red or black cherry may lead to cyanide toxicity. Yeah, that's actually terrifying.
so now I know how I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, well, I don't eat cherries, so
Well, I'll bake you a pie.
I
I'll,
won't eat it because I know better.
well, what if I don't tell you it's cherry? What if I tell you it's watermelon?
I wouldn't eat a pie. I don't really like watermelon. See,
I'm sorry,
that's
what?
one half I got. Yeah, I don't really like watermelon. I don't get it.
Fuck you.
It's fine, like occasionally to have, but I don't like. Oh wow, fuck watermelon. That's so good. I'm like, okay, I'd rather have like an apple or something instead of fucking watermelon. I don't even like bananas. Bananas are fucking gross. Um,
You're disgusting. I'm ending the stream.
Here's the thing, like bananas aren't even regular bananas. Do you know that like none of the bananas we eat are regular, like real bananas anymore? They're like fucking clones.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like none. So none of
doppelganger
this.
bananas.
Yeah, they're not even real fucking bananas anymore. So no, but anyways, I'm not like, dude. Listen, I have weird food taste sometimes. I'm not a big pie person. Like pie's
Mhm.
okay, but like I don't get it. I just
I don't like pie either. I prefer cake.
because cake's better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there a pie I like? I like. I'm fine with like. I like pumpkin pie, but like
yeah. Pumpkin pie is probably the only pie that's acceptable. But it has to be really specific because some pumpkin pie can be really fucking gross too.
I feel like what a pumpkin pie, and then my mom makes a really bomb ass apple pie because I don't like American apple pie. It's like way too sweet, and it's like she makes it like from I don't know. It's like a tart more over there, so it's like kind of with like a
Mm,
custardy. It's like apple slices and like more of an egg and milk custard kind of tart.
gotcha. It's a tart. Yeah, Amanda likes tarts.
Yeah, I said that, Bueno. Keep up, you swole.
um, you can clone bananas, but we can absolutely clone humans. They just are not. It's not ethical to do so.
But we've done it.
Yeah, we've definitely
Avril
100%
Lavigne.
fucking done it. Yeah, yeah. Well, she's replaced with a doppelganger or an
How do you know they weren't?
actress.
No, how do you know they both weren't like cloned in a lab? Like as a child, like there's like it's like an orphan black situation. There's actually a ton of Avril Lavignes in the world, and they just look kind of
Hmm.
different. And like some
And
of
they
them
just
have
have them
dreadlocks.
almost sitting in the side, like the wings, waiting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean that's a good point. Well, I mean, Dave Chappelle's a clone.
How do we know this?
I don't know. That's the current thing. Is that yeah? There's like people that have like whole video series on him as a clone, and that he looks totally different. And that he has like a different attitude and stuff than he did before. The scary one, and this is the one that like is the really prominent one right now, is that Kanye West is a clone.
Interesting. Like,
Yeah.
I guess this is when Dave Chappelle went to Africa. They're like, oh,
Yes.
they killed him, and then they brought back. Why? But why would the government bring back an even more controversial Chappelle?
Yeah. That's always my thing. That doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me.
You,
But
you
yeah.
would think that the new Chappelle would be like, that Biden's pretty great.
Yeah.
Wear your, I don't know, wear your masks and eat your frosted mini wheats, everyone.
Yeah. He'd be like, yeah, saying the opposite things. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's sometimes why I'm like, I don't think he's a clone, because he's come back and said more things about the industry and said more things you're not supposed to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kanye, the big thing with Kanye was, so when he was going off about the Jews and all of that stuff, he said, hey, if I disappear for a little while and then come back, that's not me. That's something else, somebody else. And then, like, sure enough, after he went off for a while, he disappeared, and people were like, "Where's Kanye West at? We don't know where he's at." And then they were like, we haven't seen him, and his publicist is like, "He's alive. Don't worry, he's fine." Whatever and stuff. And
It's
then he
the
came
same
back.
publicist for the cartel.
Yeah,
He's just stressed.
and then he came back, and he was married to some like random chick, and then like, yeah, he just came back, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm fine, guys. Everything's normal. Everything's good." Yeah. But he hasn't been like as like mouthy as he was about things before he left. So I don't know. Hey, Miss Rubinhood, way to show up when we're getting close.
Yeah, when we're wrapping up. When
bro,
you couldn't even braid Mike's hair.
I need my hair fucking braided. I saw her like 2 days ago, and I was yelling at her about it, and she's like, "Well, if you just took care of your hair, I wouldn't have to braid it all the time." And I'm like, yeah, that's true.
Do you not condition it?
Listen, we don't need to worry about what I do with
my
hair.
That's a no. You hesitated. That's a no.
We don't need to worry about what I do with my hair or what I do.
I think you should, because shut the fuck up about your hair.
Mad. Real mad.
Listen, Mike, are you the guy who uses like a bar of soap, like the same bar of soap for your hair and your ass? Is that what you tweeted? Wash your ass, because you just learned that's something you're supposed to do.
No, actually, like I have I wash my body, and I have conditioner and shampoo, but sometimes I don't put product in my hair. Like after I've washed my hair and stuff, I don't put product in my hair afterwards. Like I wake up the next day, I don't I just like comb through the shit.
You don't sleep with a bonnet on. You don't look like Chef Boyardee like I do.
Yeah, I'm supposed to, or like a do rag, but I haven't. I do pull my hair out sometimes. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like you'll be like combing it and stuff, and like you get a snag, and instead of like putting product in it to work the snag out, you just go like really hard through it.
Honestly, though, I do that too.
Yeah, you just rip out a chunk of it. You're like, that's a little bit. That's not that much.
That's why, like, I'll do it on the hairs on the back of my neck, because they always get tangled, and I just don't have the patience. But then I'm always annoyed, because then I have like short hairs on the back of my neck, like they never grow long.
Mm-hmm. But I get it. They get all tangled in the back, and you're like, damn it! Like all the hair here, this is fine. This combs really well, but yeah, right in the back, it gets all tangled and stuff, and it's very annoying.
Brandon says, get a good leave-in conditioner. Yeah, I can send you one, Mike. It'll be covered in anthrax, but I can send it to you. Just give me your address.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Yeah.
I miss having anthrax.
Hey, I'll give you one. I'll send you one. I'll send one for the whole family. I'll send one for you, Mrs. Epic, and a bunch of three little boxes for your little ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna go bald. So look at all this hair. Look at all of it.
Well, is your mom's dad bald?
No.
Okay, because I think it goes down the mom's lineage.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. We don't really. Yeah. I mean, like both my uncles are bald, but I think that was like a choice because they're both like military.
So, they went bald by choice. They willed it.
Yeah, they're just like, we'll just like keep shaving this shit off or whatever. Like, yeah. So I don't really need you judging. It's weird how our like sisters both showed up here and just like
now they're just roasting us.
For us. Yeah, they're just like gunning for us in the chat.
And we're both older. Like this is not. We're the older sister. Like this is actually. I guess that's. Is that the older sister? No, the younger sister is the annoying one. I'm usually the
Yeah.
annoying one, so I guess she's getting vengeance.
Yeah, she's trying. Yeah.
She's
I
trying.
mean, yeah. I taught Miss Rubenhoop everything she knows. So yeah.
Clearly not, because she knows how to braid hair and you don't.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could learn how to braid hair if I wanted to, but why would I do it myself when I can have somebody else do it?
Oh, so that's the white part of you. That's the slave master part of you coming out. Don't you fucking. God damn it.
What are you doing? Oh my god.
Napoleon's still upset at me.
What are you like? You even like? It sounded like there was a build up to that. Like you
I
could see
saw it. I saw it
happening.
moving, and I was like, "Don't you fucking do it."
Where's your light? Why is your light not secured to something?
It's clipped.
Then why is the clip coming off?
I don't know.
It's ghosts.
It's never done that before, and then today it's
Like
done
that
it
one
twice.
behind you.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the actual fuck up.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite. See, one of these days I'm gonna make sure I talk to the chat somehow when you're not around, and we're gonna organize like a whole ghost episode where you're just gonna like, yeah, everybody's gonna be like, oh shit, what was that thing behind you? And you're like, what?
You know what you need to do? I don't know if it's possible. Like, you can't add things to my camera, but maybe there's a way to do it in StreamYards where you can like add a layover effect or something, and then you'll have like a video overlay that's like really opaque. Like they turn the opacity down, and it just looks like somebody like walks up behind me. Like I would. You know how you said I shit the couch? I would also. I would do that to this chair.
Yeah, like the shit and die scenario. Yeah,
Yeah,
the best thing to do. Yeah.
You thought a guy pulling his dick out and peeing all over a live stream was bad. Watch a girl shit herself to death on camera.
Ah!
Save that. I should save that for my OnlyFans.
Yeah, I'm shitting. And then I die. Yeah. There's actually this like be the last thing I bring up, but that just reminded me. There was a article I read one time explaining the different states of fear. Like yeah, let me see if I can find it. Basically, there was like code yellow, which is like you get startled and something's like, oh, like there might be something bad here, or oh, there's something like kind of nerve-wracking or whatever. And then like code red is like, like I need to like figure out like fight or flight. I need to either attack this thing or I need to like run away as fast as possible, all the things. And then there was code black. And code black basically is you get so fucking scared, your body goes, we gotta lighten the load. And then you just piss and shit yourself. And apparently it's like a real thing. It's like a real phenomenon. People like they get so fucking scared, their body's like, we just gotta like, we gotta be ready to go at any minute.
Code blacked.
Yeah. So they just like, yeah, code black, and you just like shit your pants. Like
we should call this show that.
Code black. Yeah. Goes from day talker to code black.
Yeah. Day talker to code kind of black.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's actually really funny. I gotta see if I can find it eventually, but yeah. Yeah, I laughed so hard at that because it was just like, wow, yeah, you don't think about being that scared that you just like shit your pants. So, yeah, that's all I have. That was my last thing there. So,
well, that seems like a great good place to end it. Yeah. Shit the bed, shit the live stream. Do you have anything? Are you filming any more clan rallies or tiki torch throwing events this weekend?
Not this month. No, maybe in a couple months we'll be
back
at the racist thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to run these things outside.
It's too cold to be racist right now. You can't do outdoor rallies right now.
No. Yeah, this is also true, by the way. That is how you get out of fights.
Just spontaneously shit yourself.
Yeah, somebody goes to attack you in public, just shit your pants. There's nothing they can do. Because if they beat you up, they're the guy that beat up a guy that shit his pants. And if not, they just run. They're just like, oh, bro, gross. You leave. Guess what? You didn't get attacked. So, just remember that. Always keep some little bit poo poo in the back, ready to go, so you can escape. From
locked and loaded.
Just keep some shit locked and loaded. No, if you guys want some more crazy shenanigans and fun, go check out this Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, Secrets of the Frost Maiden on Geeks and Gamers Tabletop. We changed the time because people's schedules change and we didn't know what else to do. So yeah, now we're during the day and everybody complains about us during the day, but we're still villains. We're still murdering people, and yeah, still degenerates and having sex with every person we can find as well. So
Some lone wanderer
lol.
said, trying to make me sound tawded, more than I am. Nah, I seen a bit of a guy strip naked. Other guy wouldn't fight him. He's
Yeah,
just like, nope.
yeah. Take off your pulling down your pants is also another really good one. Yeah, because the optics of it really are like you're watching a guy in a fight and he just pulls his pants down. And he's just standing there with his pants pulled down, and the guy's like, "What the fuck?" and just beats the shit out of him. But like he's just pounding on a guy with his pants pulled down around his ankles. So
Oh, that sounds like something you watch on a Thursday night, Mike. You should keep that to yourself.
why Thursday? I'm on D&D on those days.
No,
Like,
Thursday
listen,
nights.
oh, Thursday nights. Yeah, that's fair.
What did I saw the shield wall said that's what the torches are for.
Warm.
The warmth.
Yeah, it's cold. Yeah.
Just like that's all. That's the only reason they had them of those rallies. It's just we were cold. We're racists get cold too, guys.
Yeah, it's true. Yep. So, well, it was nice to have our sisters in the chat being so nice
Was
and
it?
kind to us.
Was it?
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
I don't know. She's probably not going to play any music to end the stream either. She never does
no,
anymore.
I should. You know what? I should find. Do I have anything that's like for evil sisters?
That's a good question.
No, that doesn't sound. Wait. Okay.
That sounded pretty evil. Oh, that's pretty good too.
This feels more like this feels more like our sisters are haunting our house. This is more like Napoleon
kind
and
of
Big
are,
George
though.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Napoleon shriveled dick and Big George. Yeah.
What about? It's like an
That's
evil
pretty good.
circus,
Yeah, because they're like trying to hang out with you and chill. Yeah.
and this is a shit show. It's a clown show.
Yeah, this is clown. This is
I'm not giving you
very
guys
much
hard
a-
rock. Hard rock would be cool. There we go. Mac knows that I'm half delirious from no sleep. This isn't quite like a clown show. I was thinking more like.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Brianna and Miss Ruben Hoover standing in a hallway wearing matching dresses, just like holding hands, being like, "Come play with us.
Yeah, comb your hair, and you're like,
Comb your hair, wash your ass.
no.
Daywalker out."